And we are live here on Plus One EXP's Roll for Content channel. My name is Tony Vicenda. I am Chief Alchemist here at Plus One EXP, which is a weird little brand that multi-classes in tabletop game design, beard and skincare alchemy in the Burdick College of Content Creation. Our hope and desire here at Plus One is to help amazing designers find great players who love their games and amazing players find great designers whose games they can love. We do that in a lot of different ways, but the most fun way is sitting down with those designers to play their games, and that's exactly what we're doing today. We're going to be playing Swords Without Master with I got it in my head right as I was about to say it, with Epidiah Ravenshaw. Epi, so glad to have you here. We already gassed you up a whole lot before stream, but for I think everybody sitting here, Swords Without Master or one of your other games has had a huge influence on our own design trajectory. You mentioned you've been doing this for a quarter of a century, which means you were doing it when it was even harder than it is now. Publishing a game might have meant taking out a loan on your house or going into some sort of horrible debt. So thanks for paving the way, making things a little bit easier for us. But thanks for making Swords Without Master, which is about to launch its first standalone version. Previously, you had to go download Worlds Without Master Issue 3 to find Swords Without Master. Soon, you'll be able to go somewhere, download it, or buy it all on its own. But for folks who aren't familiar with you, aren't familiar with Swords, why don't you tell us a little about who you are, what you do, and tell us about this great game?
Oh, okay. I'm Epi. I'm a game designer. The game that I think put me on the map was Dread, the horror game that uses Jenga. I like to put that out there because there are people who've definitely heard of that and haven't heard of me. So this gives me like a little bit of a pedigree there. But Swords Without Master was a game from a little over a decade ago. I'm really bad at like determining how far back things are now. Everything in the before times, based on another game that some friends of mine and we kind of built in the course of a week. We were putting together a game as a challenge to ourselves to design a game from scratch in an entire week. That game is called Monkey Dome. It's a post-apocalyptic, inspired by Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome. A friend of ours was watching it and was like, hey, this movie cannot decide. It's like before every moment they roll two dice, one zany and one grim, to determine what the tone of the. And so that's precisely what that game is. And after we made it, I was like, this. I had been trying to hit up. I wanted to do a sword and sorcery game. The genre was very important to me growing up, and there's just something about those two tones. Not those two tones specifically. The zany and grim, perfect for Monkey Dome, weren't exactly what I wanted to do with the sword and sorcery. But if I brought them a little bit closer together, came up with glum and jovial, and built the game out from there, and that's how we got Swords. And then, like, during development, I realized that it was mirroring the quote from the beginning of the first Conan.
Yes.
The giant melancholies and giant mirths, and I was like, okay, this is it. This is the one. These are the tones I need here. So, yeah.
Awesome. If you're watching in chat right now, tell us if you have played Swords before, or if you haven't, just tell us about your favorite sword. Generally speaking, we'd love to hear it. But super excited to have you, and super excited to get to play. Let's meet the other folks we're going to be playing with. Let's start with Chrys. Chrys, why don't you tell people who you are and where they can find you online?
Hi, my name is Chrys Sellers. I publish under the name Hectic Electron, and you can find me at Hectic Electron just about everywhere. And I'm super excited to play because this game was a big influence on my own sword and sorcery game. So,
awesome, yeah. Defy the Gods, which is at the printers right now.
At the printer, yeah, on track to be out for sale in May.
There we go. Awesome. Super excited. And then last but not least, the first time Quinn and I are, I think, actually playing a game together. Because I don't think we've actually played one before. Quinn, why don't you tell people who you are, what you do, where folks can find you?
Hey, hi, howdy, y'all. I'm Quinn Blackwell. I use he, him pronouns. I design TTRPGs, and I'm also a writer. You can find me pretty much anywhere at Contact Quinn B or Quinn Blackwell. I'm primarily on Blue Sky. Um, but I also work with the Plus One EXP guys. The big happy family. Um, and I am the production pal. So normally setting up streams and like linking up guests and all of that stuff. So
Yeah, if you've ever gone to the Plus One channel and not had to wait 5 or 6 minutes for the stream to start, that's because Quinn edited it and made sure all the weird parts were chopped out. And we deeply appreciate that. So, yeah, along with helping schedule and a lot of other things around Plus One and helping make all of our streams run smooth. So, we are going to dive in pretty quickly. But before we do that, we always like to have a conversation to help everyone be comfortable and make sure that they can commit fully to the game. So let's talk a little bit about some of the tools we use to do that. We use lines, veils, the X and O card, and the open door policy here at Plus One. Lines are things that, while they may happen in the world of the game, they don't happen while we're playing it. They are things that are off limits in play. We have a strong line against sexual violence and sexual coercion here on the Plus One stream. And then we also have veils, which are things that may come up in play, but that we want to handle in a very specific capacity. We want to, only approach them as something that is wrong. We want to mention them and then move forward quickly without dwelling on them. This could be like eye injuries or other stuff like that. Does anybody have any other lines or veils that they want to name? Epi, if there's anything you want to give people as far as a heads up on things we might encounter during play, that's also great during this time.
No, I mean, like I do say that the game does contain violence, but I think the genre of does, and if we're down for that, but yeah, but I don't have anything specifically gruesome planned or anything like that. So,
no problem. Sounds good. Quinn, Chris, anything we want to call out that y'all are concerned about? Cool. Well, if
I'm ready to go.
Yeah. If anything else does come up, that's what the X card is for. It's the ability to pause the game, identify an issue, and then we can move forward in a different direction. Or you can use the X card if we just need to pause because there's a moment of confusion or something else that you just need clarified. The O card is the ability to say or type O into chat just to be like, I'm very into this and really like what's happening and we should keep on going. It's enthusiastic encouragement for that moment. And then the open door policy is just the fact that we're real people with real needs. We may have to eat, drink, talk to somebody who's off camera real quick, get up for a moment, any of those kind of things. We want to take care of our players here on Plus One. We also want you to take care of yourself. So make sure you hydrate and get a snack if you need one. We'll do the same thing or take breaks as necessary also too. So with that said, Epi, I'm going to hand things over to you to start helping us with character creation and take us into Swords Without Master.
All right. Yeah, so I mentioned Swords Without Master is a sword and sorcery game. I'm going to talk a little bit about the genre of sword and sorcery here up front. Not too in depth. I'm not a huge fan of getting into like defining what genres are or anything like that. But I do have some kind of like broad ways to kind of put people on the same page with sword and sorcery. It is a fantasy genre. There will be swords, there will be sorceries, there will be skulls and serpents and jewels and I like to refer to it as extra industrial. That sounds like there's a lot of industrial things, but I meant like outside of industrial, like before the industrial era or after. Like there's a lot of post-apocalyptic sword and sorcery fiction out there, but like where there's not like manufacturing going on. Like that's a thing to kind of like, there's artisans building things and whatnot, but you don't have like trains running. Although actually, now that I mention it, I think the very first episode of Thundar the Barbarian has a train in it, so I take that back. Another thing about sword and sorcery, and that's actually kind of important, is that it is an incredibly elastic genre. It is a genre that has, like, it's a fantasy genre that has aliens and robots and time travelers and just the whole, like, so we don't have to like get too bogged down with like, oh, this doesn't seem to fit, because it does. Like it will. Like somebody has done that. And we're going to be making some our rogues. So the three of you are rogue players. You're in charge of your characters. The player characters in this game are called rogues, but I mean that in a more classical sense than maybe the one that a lot of people are used to. They can, in fact, be thief-like characters, but they don't have to be. I mean a rogue as in somebody who is not beholden to society in general, right? This rogue used to be a legal term for somebody who is neither owns land, and in that case, like, you know, has like serfs that work the land or whatever, and it doesn't seem to be like gainfully employed in some way, right? Like, I don't understand how this person makes their fortune. They're also going to be heroes, but I again going to like subvert or go kind of step away from how we might consider that. I'm thinking of the classical heroes, which is not necessarily morally correct people, though they can be, but mainly people who are capable of great deeds. You could definitely play, you know, a rogue in the thiefy sense. You can even play a rogue in the thiefy sense that isn't like, doesn't normally do a whole bunch of great deeds, but they're capable of it. That's the thing. To make a rogue in this game, there's several steps. The order doesn't matter, but I have to give an order. I have to say it in some order. So we'll start with my favorite bit, which is the Eidolon, which is a thing of our world, something that exists in our world that makes you think of your rogue. Traditionally, when I was first playtesting the game and first running it, I had like a stack of fantasy cards that I would just like, you know, art cards, like fantasy illustrations, like with Frazetta and Michael Wayland and all that I would just spread out in front of people and be like, go at it. So it could be pieces of art. It could be, we've done them where it's like, you know, people, I had a game where everyone brought a drink that was like the drink that is from their character's homeland, which was a lot of fun. It could be just saying that person right there is the actor that would play this character in a movie. That's perfectly fine. That's legitimate. All I ask is that it's no AI. We want something that is human made, that comes from humans. And if you do like share some illustrations or whatever, give a shout out to that artist. Like, we'd love to hear about it. Music is another good one. So what you do, this doesn't have to be a direct representation of your character. It can just be something, like I said, that reminds you of your character, something that makes you, you know, that could be like a picture of a battlefield on which your character was born, you know, like that, you know, or like I mentioned before, drinks from your character's homeland or whatever. So there's the Eidolon. That's one thing to figure out. Another thing is all that deserves a name. This includes your character's name, but it's other things that your character might have that are important to them. Like maybe they have maybe they're a horse person and they got a horse that they hang out with all the time. Maybe they really like their weapons and they give them names. Maybe they're like Fafhrd and Grey Mouser, where they give their weapons names and then they break those weapons all the time and they just rename the new weapon the same name as the previous one. Whatever. It's in this section, you're going to name the things that are important to your rogue. This is going to give me, the overplayer, something to kind of look at and maybe shoot at. You know, maybe put them in my crosshairs to see if I can like pressure you a little ways. But as we play the game, because it's written underneath your all that deserves a name section, you have the final say over any permanent change to this character, which includes like their death or, you know, something else. This gives you the ability, and again, that includes your rogue, and we'll get into that a little bit, but like this gives you a chance to just be like, I did not give my character a sibling just for you to kill that sibling off, right? Like that's not what I want out of this. So,
or maybe it is,
yeah. And if it is, then we'll shoot for that and let me know. Cause yeah. And then we have the feats heroic. There's going to be 2 feats heroic. One of them is going to be glum, and one's going to be jovial. I'll talk a little bit more about tones. Wait, maybe this is a good spot. Please interrupt me if I'm just babbling on and not making any sense. But let me just talk a little bit about the tones. When we play this game, before we do anything, we're going to roll the dice. It's going to be 2 6-sided dice that you can easily tell apart. These are the 2 that I bought just to design this game, which is kind of, I'm fond of them. This is my glum one. This is my jovial one. Before you do anything, you roll those dice, and whichever one ends up the higher is the tone that your character is going to be in. Now, we don't necessarily mean that you're going to go from like weeping and sad for glum to like laughing maniacally for jovial each time. We're going to broadly interpret these tones. The glum is going to be anything that is, maybe it's sad, but maybe it's just subdued. Maybe it's, I like to sometimes say that this is like when the soundtrack for the movie is in a minor key. Jovial is going to be anything loud and bright and energetic, or in a major key. So they're umbrella terms. It's very possible to be jovial and sad, right? Like you're just very messy crying or just screaming in rage at whatever's happening. And it's very possible to be content and happy and glum, just being off by yourself studying in some tower somewhere. What matters is not necessarily whether or not you've like hit those, but that like we're going to trust that you are trying to hit them, and we are going to just read it through that lens, right? Like we're working together to make this happen. All right, so the feats heroic means I want you to think about your character in a glum way and in a jovial way. So you're going to write down something that your character might do in a glum way, and then you're going to write down something else that your character might do in a jovial way. This is a very open thing. If it's the first time you're playing, my recommendation is to be like, just imagine your character is in a life or death situation. You can even just imagine like an army of hoplites, bearing down on them. What do they do that's glum? What do they do that's jovial? During the game, you're going to be able to just choose one of these if you want and ignore the die roll you do and use that response instead. But mainly, the goal of the feats heroic is to get you thinking about your character at least in 2 tones. We learned early on in the playtest when you're making Elric McGlumgloom and you keep rolling jovial, you get very frustrated. Elric can very much have there are a lot of jovial things that happen in the Elric of screaming red-eyed ghoul that is Elric of Melnimide. Did I get it? Is that
as far as I know?
Yeah. Anyways, but like, if you're just thinking about your character as one tone and not the other, you're going to get stymied as we play. The last thing on the sheets is the trick. We'll worry about that when we're done with the rest of the characters. This maybe the most complex and the least often used part of the character. So, I'm going to stop talking for a moment and let you think about your characters.
Yeah. I mean, I had the exact, when you were like, how do you say it? I had the exact same with how do you say the thing at the top again?
Oh, the Eidolon.
Eidolon. I don't know that I've ever in my brain, that is not where my brain ended up. I definitely had a hard E at the beginning of that.
Sorry, it's Eidolon. I've been saying Eidolon for like a decade, and only this year did I decide to look up how to pronounce it.
And it's all fine. Here's the thing.
Yeah.
Everyone, it's all good. Mm-hmm. It's great.
Yeah.
And so, yeah. Excellent. I figured mine out. But yeah, it would not have been how I would have pronounced it.
And we're going to like, I'm. This is Swords is a very reactive game for the person running it. I can come with some ideas in my head, but I really need to respond to what you're doing. So,
Yeah.
we'll see what you come up with for characters. We'll kind of form a world around them and work from there.
All right. I got to name my train to make sure we get it in here.
I mean, if you want, we can make a trade happen. I'm not.
Chat, if you have ideas on eidolons, I asked people what their favorite sword is. We got some great answers for that.
Mm-hmm.
But if you have an eidolon that you personally would have, drop that in the chat for me. Let me know.
Yeah.
I know that Signal Station's favorite sword was the Sword of Power formed when their childhood He-Man and Skeletor swords combined.
Yes.
Even though it was He-Man's bent. And so it's an excellent call.
Yeah, one of the things about the upcoming edition for Swords that I'm most excited about is the Eidolon folios that we're going to be doing with them, which are tarot size cards, illustrated cards so that you can have a deck of Eidolons to share with your friends and figure out. So you can go through them and you can be like, choose the ones you want to represent your world, and we're going to use these to pick our Eidolons. I keep stumbling over the word now. But anyways, we got early art for it up on our Kickstarter, and I'm super excited about it.
Yeah, those are all good things to name.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure what I'm. Oh, am I muted?
Nope, I can hear you.
No, okay. I'm not sure what I want to run with for my jovial and glum. I think everything that I'm thinking is very very large.
Yeah, go for it.
Almost.
I mean, large is we can use large. Yes.
We can use large. All right.
Yeah.
I don't know who is what yet. So I'm looking at eidolons and they're all pretty damn good. Actually, I guess I probably could guess because Chrys, is this some art from Defy Defy the Gods?
It's taken over my brain. I just gave up thinking of anything else.
It's a good
So
choice. Let me get it up on the screen for other folks to see while Quinn's thinking. It's a good piece. I couldn't find. I found one kind of similar to what I wanted, but I could not. I just love a ragged cloak. It's one of my favorite things in the world, and I couldn't find one that really matched my mental vision. So I found one that was kind of close.
I love that you have a ferret. It's just very Beastmaster.
It's my favorite moment in Beastmaster is ferrets. I'm not gonna lie. Like. Ever since I was like 6 years old, probably.
Yeah.
I've been like, oh man, if I could just have a pet ferret that I could have them go do things for me, it would be amazing. And I think more people should have pet ferrets that go do things for them.
Oh, the adventures I would go on.
I'm gonna go firmly on record. Now, if you asked me whether I wanted to have a ferret in real life ever, I've had friends who had ferrets, and the answer is I would not actually.
Yeah.
But if I was a rogue with no ties, I would 100% be on board. Quinn, I love the shape that yours is taking, like nautically, also too.
Yeah. I I wasn't exactly sure where I wanted to go, and I was just like, let's just scroll through some images, and I was just like, yep, that's the one.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Also, it wasn't sword and sorcery, but did anybody follow the very short-lived, I want to say 2010s show the Cape, where the guy just had a cape that had a really weird, very minimal. It was very like street level superhero. It was
Oh.
all the good kinds of bad you want from a poorly thought out prestige television thing. But that's a vibe that I love also too. It was just like, hey, can you reach out and grab things with your cape? Cool. Now are you kind of a superhero? Let's find out.
Wow, I'm going to check that one out. That feels up my alley.
Yeah. I believe it had some major circus themes running through it in some way, shape, or form also, which is another one of my go-to bit things that I get really in love with. And that traveling circus feels very sword and sorcery to me in ways that are hard to describe, but I think very evident in a lot of ways also too.
There's definitely a. I'm trying to figure out a way to say this without adding undue authority to what I'm saying here. I have noticed that because sword and sorcery has some roots in like older adventure fiction, including like mythology and whatnot, but also like the picaresque and whatnot. And they're definitely like the novel Scaramouche, which is like a revolutionary like and also master fencer who goes around as the clown Scaramouche, is very like there are no sorceries in there. There's plenty of swords, but like it's you know cousin to the genre, right? Like
Yeah.
it's very
Yeah, I also just feel like almost every position at the circus individually could end up in a swords and sorcery setting, and no one would blink an eye. Like, oh, the fire breather is here, great. Oh, the super strong person is here, great. Oh, there's an elephant, awesome. Like like you're just no individual part of the circus doesn't immediately fit into a swords or sorcery or swords and sandals setting really well.
and they're both kind of part of that same river delta that feeds into superheroes in the early days, right?
Yeah.
Like Robin is an acrobat, right? Like this is and yeah.
Love it. All right. Are we all kitted out roughly?
Let's take a look at these.
I think so.
I guess I should actually put my raggedy cloak on there.
Do you guys have names?
Good
I'm always a
question.
name last person, but I also know that
That's fair.
I do have a default OSR name that we'll just throw in here because it's a great classic. I'll be Thrag. As
It's
I
up there
often
with
am.
Fongor-esque.
That's great. Yes.
Excellent. Thrag, Danny, and Kuliana.
Kuliana, yeah.
Kuliana. Right. All right. So we have our rogues with names. They got all that deserves a name. I'll let you introduce them in just a moment here. We do the feats heroic. The last bit, the trick. I haven't really explained most of the rules of the game, which is why the trick is like the most, because you need to understand what the rules are to understand the decision you're making when you're choosing a trick. A trick is just kind of a way that you get to like break the rules a little bit and make sure the game is about your character. Most games that I play never use a trick. Like it's there for you whenever you want it, and like most of the time people are like, just never came up, never had the need for it. But there are 3 particular tricks that are real easy to do because there are 3 phases in this game. So let me just tell you a quick bit about the phases, if that's all right.
Yeah.
Whenever we're playing this game, we're going to be one of the 3 phases, or just about to start one. There's no particular order to these phases. We can follow like one phase up with the exact same phase. Again, that's not basically what the phase is saying is that here's the set of rules that we're going to use to deal with what's going on right now. And this set of rules kind of shines the focus on a different thing. There's the perilous phase where that set of rules says we're going to pay attention to the fact that your rogues' lives are in danger, and there's action happening, there's daring do, and we're gonna look at that. There's the discovery phase where we learn about the world through your rogues' eyes or their experience, something that they remember, or like having a conversation with someone else they learn. And that one, again, like that could happen in the middle of a battle, but it's still, what we're focusing on is the fact that something new is coming to light, that we're learning something new about the world. And then there's the rogues phase, and that's the one where the rogues are kind of unleashed, where we're going to be making demands of each other, and we're going to just be like, show me how you do this. I really want to see your rogue do this. And then you get to go, I want to see your rogue do this. And so that one is just focusing on the rogues themselves and just be like, this is what I want to see. And sometimes those are like, I want to see you with your big muscles and doing your big muscle thing. And sometimes they're like, I want to see how sad you can get. And that's, we'll work that out together. So there's a trick that says, I think it's called, oh man, I should have had the tricks on hand. But I don't remember the name of it, but basically you're like, I want to be able to fight this thing. I always wanted to fight a T-Rex. So in that trick, you write down T-Rex, and then between phases, you can always say that this next phase is a perilous phase and we're fighting a T-Rex, right? Like that's your thing. So that's one. Another one is the discovery phase. So your rogue has some way of like revealing the world that like is maybe unique to them. Like maybe they're really good at smelling the truth, or maybe they can read the stars, and you're like, this next phase is going to be a discovery phase, and it doesn't end until I reveal something through whatever that is. You write what that thing is. And then the final one is just the same thing, but it's like for a rogue's phase. Like, this is a thing that my rogue can do, and this next phase is going to be a rogue's phase, and we're not going to end it until, like, I show you that this is the thing. So, each of you is going to pick one of those. According to the rules, everyone has to have a different trick. So, like, this is like shuffling the deck and handing one out. Does any one of those just immediately appeal to someone here and they can lay claim to it?
I can jump out and say that I like the rogue one.
Yeah. All right.
I think I have an idea for that.
Yeah.
I can toss that out if.
Yeah. So you're going to be able to
I'm
do a
thinking,
cool thing.
Yeah, I'm thinking it would be something along the lines of like one against many
Right.
in like a encounter of sorts, whether it comes to blows or to wits.
Yeah. Yeah.
Love
So
it.
you're basically saying, like, at some point in the game, if we need it, you could be like, this next phase is going to be a rogue's phase, and it doesn't end until I'm faced many foes, or something like that. Yeah, that's great.
Love it. Chris, you have anything that's standing out to you from the other two?
So the perilous phase, I think I'm more drawn to the perilous phase.
All right.
So so a trick for where this phase doesn't end until I get to do this thing, right?
Well, in the perilous phase, you just state the thing that you want to fight. Like, it might be, like I said, like
okay.
a T-Rex, or like the next phase is a perilous phase, and I get to fight the king that killed my brother. That's another possibility, or what have you.
Okay. All right. Cool. I don't know what it is, but I would like to be prowess. So
All right.
I'm gonna work that out.
Mine is going to be, it was a spaceship the whole time.
All right, so it's going to be a discovery phase, and we're going to have to learn.
All right, so we've got one against Minnie in the rogue phase for Danny. For Kuliana, we've got the perilous phase, which Chrys is still figuring out. Got some good typing going.
Fight the giant snake at the heart of the world.
There we go. Love it. And then I've got discovery. It was a spaceship the whole time.
So, let's introduce our rogues.
Yeah. All right. Kuliana, do you want to go first?
Okay, sure. I'm Liana. I'm a sword woman. My things that deserve a name are my otherworldly sword, a cup made from the skull of my dead best friend, and a recipe that I've brought with me from home far away. My heroic feats are my jovial one is to make a fast friend over wine, and my glum one is to dance with death. And my trick, like I say, is to fight the giant snake at the heart of the world.
Yeah.
I'm playing Thrag. I think unknown pronouns. We'll go with any for Thrag. I've got Scramp the ferret, a bag of scraps, a long chain that wraps around my body, and a raggedy cloak that covers the chains, filled with shadow. And then my heroic feats are tap someone on their far shoulder and take their drink. For jovial, and my glum one is blind them, choke them, blot out light. My trick is discovery. It was a spaceship the whole time.
And I am playing as Danny. My things that deserve a name are a small fishing boat, an ill-fitting jacket, a pair of wedding bands, and a pristine fishing knife. My feats heroic are jovial, cook a hearty meal, and glum, go down with the ship. And my trick is rogue, one against many.
All right.
I
So,
love the pair of wedding bands.
Your
Yeah.
wedding bands is really
good.
strong.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so let's I guess I'll go into like how the game works. We could get started on it. Do we want to like normally when I do this I'm like, okay, we're about to get started. Do we want to do a bio break or something like that?
Yeah, that's
So
great.
I don't-
If we want to take a short little break before we come back and dive into play, I think that's a great idea. We're going to take a short little 5-minute break so we have a chance to get up, stretch, move around. If you've got a need that you need to take care of, viewer, you go do that also right now. Come back and we will start playing Swords Without Master. And we are back playing Swords Without Master. We just made our characters, and now we're going to dive into play. Epi, why don't you take us in?
All right. So I've told you about the rogues, and we've made some rogues. I've told you about the 2 different tones, and we've talked a little bit about that. We've talked about at least what the purpose of the phases are. We'll get into like the rules for the specific phases when we actually encounter the phases. The last bit I need to tell you about here is the threads. And the threads are what tie this whole thing together. It's not a mistake that they're called threads. And we have 3 different threads that we have in the game, 2 of which the dice will tell us, hey, you're making a thread. But the last one, perhaps the most important one, is one that we're going to have to keep an eye out for ourselves. So what's a thread? A thread is going to be a little thing that we write down on, usually, in the rules text, I talk about scraps of paper because, again, years ago, we weren't playing it online, and I was just like, I'm not going to mention note cards in a sword and sorcery game. That doesn't make sense. But let's scraps of paper. We'll ignore that paper doesn't make sense that much either. But like, like something. So let me go with the first two, the two that you get when you roll. We're gonna, like I said, roll 2 dice. One is your glum die, one is your jovial die. And you're going to look to see which one's higher. Now, occasionally, in fact, 1 out of every 6 rolls, roughly, you're going to end up with the same. Like neither one of them is going to be higher; they're going to be tied. When that happens, you're stymied, right? Your rogue is prevented in some way from immediately doing the thing that they were intending to do. When you're stymied, the overtone. I've not introduced the overtone yet. Maybe I should do that. Before every phase, I roll the dice, and those are my tone. That's my tone. That's the overtone. Everyone's in the overtone at the beginning of the phase. It's not until you roll the die when your tone differs from everyone else's. But when you tie, you get a stymie, and the overtone flips. If I roll jovial and you roll a tie, then whatever you do or whatever you're prevented from doing causes the tone to change. The example I like to use is like if you're in like a crowded tavern and it's loud and everyone's talking, you're trying to get some information, and then like you ask a question, but you roll a tie, then it goes glum. Everything goes quiet. Like, oh no, what are you doing talking to him? And then if somebody rolls a tie after that, maybe a fight breaks out. And if someone rolls a tie after that, it gets all jovial and boisterous again. And then another tie, and everything goes quiet because somebody pulls out a knife and it's now deadly intent. That sort of thing. I should mention that it's an escalation each time. That's the overtone will flip and it escalates. Now, a tie with 2 4s like this is just that. You're stymied. You don't get what you were going after this very moment. You can always, come back to it a little bit later. If the dice are both 3 or less, so like in this case, a tie on 2 3s here, then all of what I just said happened, but the purpose for it is something mysterious. It could be something magical or just, unknown to you that causes it. Like you were trying to, climb up the side of a mountain, and you roll those dice, and you're like, you get to come up with this. Like you get to say what the mysterious thing is. So you could be like, a fog rises up, and I can no longer see like where. And then you grab a scrap of paper and you write down, where has this mysterious fog come from, right? That I've been playing too much Peak. I don't know if you've played Peak or not, but like it's, anyways, it could be like anything, but like you get to write down what the mystery is, and we will put this on. Like if you look on our sheets here, there's a little spot for mysteries on the left-hand side. We'll write that down.
Gotcha.
Mysteries are always a question. Now, if you roll, if both dice are 3 or less, but it's not a tie, like in this example here, I've got a 3 jovial and a 1 glum. That's a jovial roll, but you're going to get what's called a moral. And a moral is a unintended consequence to what you are doing. And the way the game works is that you, as the rogue player, you get the first shot at like coming up with this unintended consequence. So you could be like in the middle of a battle and you can describe like trying to shove someone off a cliff and accidentally pushing not just them, but your ally who is directly behind them, But you may not want to do that. You may be like, I don't want to come up with the unintended consequence. That's fine. For a lot of things in this game, if you're like, I don't want to actually come up with that, that's legit. You're allowed to say that. Then it falls to me to come up with it. Like that's one of the purposes of the overplayer. For the moral, I got a little bit more duty there though. Like for a moral, I have to like make sure it has bite. So you might be like, the unintended consequence is I slip a little, and I'm like, you slip a little and you fall like halfway down the cliff, maybe. Like I get to like nudge you towards something with teeth there if I don't think it has. When you roll that and something like that happens, you go to the morals and you write down a lesson that you probably should have learned for this. And I will like just straight up say most sword and sorcery adventurers don't learn the lesson. Like it's like this is just not a thing I'm going to learn. That's fine. You still get to write the lesson down. Like this is what Thrag should have learned. All right, so those are the ones that the dice tell us about. You don't have to like keep in your mind that these know that they can happen, but I will be watching the dice and I will let you know that they happen. Because I don't want you like too worried about it. I have internalized them. The last one is the motif, and the motif is actually very similar to the O card, what you were just saying. For the motif, you're going to write down something that feels very sword and sorcery to you, something that you're like, hell yeah, like this is what I want. Let's go with this. But it can't be anything that you came up with. It has to be something you heard from one of your fellow players. It can come from any of the other rogue players. It can come from me. I can write motifs down if I hear something from one of you. Usually we do it in the moment, but like I will, because sometimes in the beginning people forget, I will like at the end of each phase be like, hey, was there anything we wanted to put there? The motifs are slightly well, okay. So what happens is my example motif I have to pull away from because it ties in too well with something someone has on their character sheet. So I want to save it just in case. Let's say somebody describes like an upside down ziggurat, right? Like just in the middle of a jungle, there's a ziggurat that's upside down, and you're just like, that is weird, and I love upside down ziggurats. So you write that down under the first motif. We have 3 motifs. Each motif has 3 elements. Every time we write something down, that fills in a new element. Once we fill in the first motif entirely, we'll move on to the second one. All of this makes sense. This is how things work. But the important thing to know is that in the second motif, one of those elements has to echo something from the first motif.
Okay.
So then maybe, not me, but like someone else starts describing like, a bunch of archers who are like you're in a jungle and these archers are hunting by hanging upside down from a branch, right? Like, and you're like, okay, I love that image. That's a great image. I'm going to write that down. And then you're like, hey, wait, that ziggurat was upside down. These echo each other. That's good. If we get one thing to echo, then we all agree that echoed. We're on the right track. The story is happening. You only have to do one echo in the second motif. You fill in all 3 elements. We move on to the third one. Same thing in the third motif. We need one echo, but it can come from either the first or the second. It doesn't have to be echoing the same thing. It's just we now have 6 elements we can echo from. Once we fill out all 3 elements in the third motif, we're going to enter the end game. So the motif is our countdown timer. That's how we pace ourselves. Once we've filled them all out in the end game, the game will continue as it has, but we're going to take these threads and we're going to reincorporate them with our narration. We're going to like maybe take a motif and you incorporate motifs. I'll talk about this a little bit more when we get to it, but like you can reincorporate motifs by taking 2 elements on it and smashing them together into a new element. You can reincorporate a mystery by solving the mystery. You could be like, hey, I figured out where that miss came from. Or by advancing it with another question, you'd be like, hold on, this miss, is changing colors. Yeah, or something. Why does it do that? In the morals, you reincorporate them by showing that you've learned your lesson, by teaching the lesson to someone else, or what most likely happens, proving that you'll never learn that lesson, right? Like you just show the rest of us, no, I fell for it again. That's fine. All right. Once 2 of the 3 of you reincorporate, that's it. The game's over. So that's, and I should say when you reincorporate, you don't get the dice again. I haven't gotten into dice passing, so let's talk about that. Right, so when we normally play the game and we're not online, we're going to have one pair of dice that we share. whoever has the dice has our attention. They're the one that's doing the rolling, and we're paying attention to what's happening. And there are rules about who and what you can, who you can pass it to and when. Those get into how how the different phases work. So let's get started, I guess. I got a quick question for you. Do you prefer to have like been a party of rogues that adventured together? Like, have you known each other for a while? Is this the first time meeting? Is this the first time in a long time that you've met? Like, you used to adventure together? Like, I want to know a little bit about a history before I can do the first setup.
I like the idea that we've adventured together before,
Okay.
even if we don't know everything about each other, even if
Yeah.
we're still a little strange to each other.
Yeah, I mean, I think I had the pitch of like Kulani and Thrag potentially having repeatedly bumped into each other, but I also do really kind of love the idea of Danny as new fish out of water, depending on how Quinn wanted to play it, like where it's kind of a mix. But I don't know how everybody feels about that.
Yeah, I'm here for either. I like the idea of almost running away from something,
Oh, yeah.
stumbling into them.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Actually, that's a great setup. Okay. So, I'm the overplayer. I'm going to roll for the overtone. Oh, we've got jovial. I've got a 2/1. I don't need to prove it to you people. You believe it. You trust me. So, the overtone is jovial. I'm going to just go on our character sheet here and point the arrow at jovial. Just sometimes it's important to remember that because we're getting going. I am going to... Okay, so I like this idea of that Danny might be running away from something and just stumbles. I also like the idea that Thrag and Kuliana are also running away from a separate thing. So
Yeah.
So
Yeah, totally. Perpetually.
At the beginning of every phase, the overplayer has sort of like complete control over like where you are and what you're doing, and so I'll tell you like where you are, what you're doing. I don't necessarily. I might say like, and you're feeling weary or something like that, but I can't like really peer into your soul and tell you like that's to you. That's left to you. But so I'll do that, and then we're gonna start with I think I'm gonna start with the rogues phase. This feels like a good way to start with it. So I'll set you up, I'll tell you where you are, and then I'm going to give you what's called a thunder. And a thunder is a distant threat. It's something that's just on the horizon. It may mean nothing. It may be something that we'll encounter at some other point. When I do that, I will pick up the dice to indicate that it's a distant threat. And my trick is, I don't know what it is. Like, I'll just describe. Okay, here's the example. I have this vision now of Thrag and Juliana, and if I'm mispronouncing these names, please correct me. Okay, yeah. Craig and Juliana have been. Well, I'm jovial, right? So there's a port, like a market, port, like on this. I'm envisioning like a lot of like colorful awnings and things like that. This is like a very like midday, lots of people shouting, but not in an angry way, but like like, hey, you over there, and lots of ships coming in and going out. These ships I'm envisioning as being like more Bronze Agey, kind of like biremes and longboats that sort of like rather than like tall ships with sails or whatever. I'm going to say, okay, so the two of you, Thrag and Kuliana, are at the port. I'm going to hit you with why in just a moment here. but I'm gonna give you thunder. And that thunder is picking up the dice. There, I mean, I guess the easiest one to go with here is that there's just somebody who's been following you for days. They're not particularly discreet about it. They have like they have an outfit made of like a bunch of different shades of red that are like with like, I guess, like scarves and things wrapped around it, and they don't look like, they actually look like they might be a little bit wealthy or whatever, but you only kind of catch them out of the corner of your eye every so often. But both of you have seen this person. I don't even know if either one of you have actually spoken to each other about it, but they're there. So that's the thunder. It's a possible threat. We don't know yet. Again, I don't know anything about this. The rules of the game are, if I haven't explicitly told you something, you are welcome to make something up about it. Like that, like I can't be precious about this stuff. Now, I'm going to hand the dice to one of you. And I'm going to hand them, I'm going to start with, I've moved our little cubes over to Juliana. And then I'm going to make a demand. And the way the rogue's phase works is you have a demand that starts with, show us how, or show us something. Show us how you escape the Thieves Guild from this town, right? Like there's a the Thieves Guild is after you. I think the two of you might have stolen something from them. I'm leaving that a little bit vague, so you guys come up with whatever you want. So in the rogue's phase, you're going to be able to just immediately roll the dice to determine your tone. And then you answer. You're free to narrate however you want, and let us know this. And then once you're done, you can pick up the dice, and then you can make a demand of someone else. There's
okay, but I roll the dice first, right? Yeah, go ahead.
You roll the dice first. Yeah, go for it.
That is 6 and 3, glum. So we escaped the Thieves Guild by killing their sorcerer in front of the guildmaster. And when the sorcerer died, the magic's holding up. They're part of that sorcerer's part of the guild hall collapsed, and we escaped that way. And they are doubtless regrouping, but for now, we may have actually taught them a little fear.
Nice.
And then, yeah, go ahead.
Oh, no, sorry.
You just paused out for a second, Chris.
Yeah, you froze up a little bit, so I thought you would pause. But yeah,
great.
Go for it.
Thank you,
sorry, I didn't
Internet company. No, that's okay. So then I can hand the dice to someone else?
Yes, so the way the rogue's phase works is that once you're done narrating, you pick up the dice, and then anyone at the table can be like, we're done with the rogue's phase. But if nobody says that, then you get to make a demand of someone else. And I'm just going to suggest, because this is our first rogue's phase, that we just kind of go ahead and make demands of each other. Like, get everyone to answer something first, and then we can start ending phases.
Yeah, okay. Show us how we are keeping body and soul together in this town.
Is that for me?
Yeah.
See how we're keeping body and soul together in this town. That's such a good question. Yeah, I think you and you handed me the dice. I'm gonna roll them first because that's what we do.
Yes, roll first. Because otherwise you make plans that the dice.
I got 3 and 3.
Oh, okay. So this is great. You're gonna not be able to keep your body and soul together. And the reason for it has to be some sort of mystery,
Mm-hmm.
or like some supernatural. It has to come from some supernatural source, and then you'll be able to write a mystery about it.
Yeah. I think, so as we like, uh, as we had kind of escaped, you know that beyond just the tower collapsing, that you know that Thrag has picked something up. Like you know that that you like saw Thrag standing over the body of the sorcerer for a moment long enough to know that Thrag has probably taken something. And I think what we see is just like the flash down below. Like in those shadows, just a deep glowing red gemstone set in like a right, and all of a sudden it starts like flashing, and um uh suddenly you can see, I think like we see all of a sudden like camera views shift, and like Kalania, you are looking at yourself and Thrag from where the red garbed individual was following you. Like you get an immediate sense of like they're there, and all of a sudden you watch your body reach out and like grab Thrag and throw them to the ground. So I think the mystery is, why has your body left your soul?
Well, I'm now somehow in the red pursuer's body.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
And
That's a good one.
I am totally down for. I mean, I think we can talk about like, I don't. Is it more fun if this happens for about a minute, while this person wrestles with Thrag, and then all of a sudden you pop back in, like sitting over me, and that person rushes forward? Do we like that?
I think since we haven't introduced the enemy yet, that's better. If it's just like for a minute this time.
Yeah. I think just introducing it as a moment of displacement so that we're not immediately figuring out new character concepts is also really good. But yeah, there's this moment of your body and soul being displaced from each other. You also, I think, hear Thrag yelling loudly in a language they don't speak, while the person is wrestling with them. So I think we see Thrag has switched spots with a local fisherman for about a minute, who is very confused as far as what's happening. And then you end up, on top of me, forcing me down, like reaching into my cloak, trying to grab something.
Right, and then immediately pull my fingers out again.
Yeah, I'm adding to the first motif immediately. A purloined gem that comes with a curse is very sword and sorcery to me, so
All right. Three people swapped body and souls with those nearby.
So the mystery should be a question.
Okay, should it be? That's what I was trying to make sure. Okay.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, I did it.
I got it.
All right, you got it. I'll let you do it.
Yeah, we're already messing with narratives here. I love it.
All right. Why do we swap bodies and souls with those nearby?
Yeah. All right. So, like I said, let's at least make at least one more demand before we decide to end the phase.
Yeah. I think I will demand of Danny. Tell us where you're at in all of this.
Well, you can be more. I mean, like,
okay,
that's legit. I don't want to. But you could like say,
what are you doing under the docks?
Yeah. You get to roll the dice first. Yeah.
I don't know where the dice emblem ended up, but
oh yeah, where did they go? Oh well,
we'll never get it back. But yeah, what are you doing under the docks?
I rolled a 3 and a 2,
Hmm.
Uh, and I guess I never decided on which dice is which.
Uh-oh.
But this one is closer to jovial and that one's closer to glum. So I'm gonna say three, jovial.
All right. So this is great. We're getting examples of everything here because you get a moral from this. This is going to be
Yes.
whatever you're doing. There's an unintended consequence, which you can describe, or you can leave that to me if you like.
So do I answer the question first, or do I figure out the moral, or is the moral
You can just
based off
answer the
of?
question. Yeah, you can answer the question first if you want, and then we can figure it
Yeah.
out. Yeah.
So I think that um, Danny has a very small fishing boat. And there aren't really spaces in the dock for a boat this small. So Danny is very used to pulling up to the dock and almost like parking underneath of it and like tying it to the post down there. So I think Danny is in the boat. It's tied off, and they are eating at the moment, eating something from a pail that they have. I think. Ooh, what are we thinking for morals?
Is this?
Um, well, you're good.
Oh, I was just wondering if like, is this something that the local authorities frown upon? Like, are you getting out of like a mooring fee or something like that by
Free
doing
docking.
this? Or
Yeah,
yeah,
that's probably what it is. I think that very consistently, like I've been shooed off to the point of being like smaller boats have to be like pulled up onto the sandy beach like off some ways. But then I have to walk all the way back, and
hmm,
as long as I'm under here, I don't need to pay the fees.
yeah. All right. So let's give that like a little bit of bite. Well, in the moment, let's just like have someone, the harbor master, like catch you,
Yeah.
and has shown up with like three, like, yeah. Let's have him show up with like three other like burly. I'm seeing Popeye here in my head, but three other burly fishermen who are like, he's like, this guy isn't paying what you guys pay. Like, it is like looking to get you beat up there. So you get to write a lesson that you should learn. Not necessarily one you will, but you can
Yeah.
write that down under morals.
Okay. Let's
Overnight.
see. How do I want to phrase it? I think it's something along the lines of uh what's the neatest way of stating this? I think it's the something along the lines of like the long arm of the law
Yeah,
is like ever present, or like to
yeah,
not to be trifled with.
yeah. That's good. I dig it. It'll be a fun one to prove you aren't learning.
Is that right?
Yeah, close enough.
I think that's right.
Yeah, I think so too. But I'm not the best speller in the world. I
Look,
depend
there's no
on
red
editors.
squiggly lines underneath it. You did a
Yeah,
great job.
Yeah.
it's very true.
All right. So now you can make a demand of someone else, or we can, if anyone wants to end the phase here, we can end the phase here. Um,
Uh, I think I like the idea of making a demand
mhm.
back towards the whatever's going on above my head.
Sure. Yeah.
Um, and I think the demand is uh almost to the point of it's going to be to Kuliana, and the demand is um I think it might play directly into like what your glum says of like how do you dance with death?
Oh,
So,
okay.
it's often most helpful to just kind of start with the ritual phrase, show us. So
Mm,
you could be like, show us how you dance with death is a
yeah.
perfectly legit one, but like, um, all right, cool. I just wanted to.
Well, stop me if I'm in too much of a rush to get the whole gang together. Um,
No, go for it.
I'm.
Do you need to roll first?
Oh
Oh,
yeah, I need to
yes,
roll first,
you
right?
do.
Right. Okay.
Thank you.
I feel like it's probably the easiest thing to forget while playing is like
Yeah,
you've got a good idea and you just want to pitch it.
yeah.
All right. I got double fours.
Okay, so you are prevented from doing whatever you are trying to do. Our overtone is flipped to glum. So now, like, you can describe how that is, but it affects like everyone, right? Like it's a larger
It's
thing.
the
Wait,
ambient tone, like.
yeah, yeah. But there's
The
no,
whole market goes a little quieter.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
But there's no need for a moral or a mystery on this one. It's just you're stymied.
Okay. Then I think that I uh, I look up instinctively toward the figure in the red scarf, and because I registered where my
Yeah,
soul had jumped to, and um and that figure has disappeared, but the whole market now seems to be filled with strangers and people who speak a language we don't speak, and uh, any one of them, it seems to me, could be this person in the red scarf. Like, like I'm seeing them everywhere, and um, how I dance with death. Uh, I
well,
want to say, yeah, yeah.
I mean, like, again, you rolled a stymie, so you
Oh, right.
specifically
So I don't
don't.
dance with death.
Yes.
Right, right. Okay. I think I get up from where I was holding Thrag down, and I'm going to go look for the person in the red scarf, but I get up too hastily, and we are on an extended boardwalk, and the boards give way, the rotted boards give way underneath us, and we crash down into the scene where Danny is about to be jumped by a bunch of sailors and the harbor master. Um, so I can't go find the person in the red cloak and kill them. And now I'm in the middle of another fight that I have no idea what's going on.
Yeah.
Love it.
I want to end the phase there because I know what I'm going to do next. um. So when I end the phase, I can do like a little wrap up if necessary. I don't think so. I'm just going to go on to what the next phase is. I'm I don't have to do any particular phase. I can just jump right back into a different rogues phase. I can go on to. I will go on to one of the other ones because I want to like show you all of them. But and the other thing I was going to say is, oh, we're just unmoored in time and space, right? Like I could be like, and 100 years later, this is happening, that kind of thing. I am actually going to go a little bit. I'm going to leave what happened in that moment, and we're going to go a little bit into the future, I think. Oh, okay. I rolled a 6 jovial. Again, I don't need to. I don't need to prove myself. What am I talking about? Or do I? Wait. I know I spoke a big game about like just jumping into the future, but I just realized that no, we have a good little fight going on here. I think Jovial convinced me that I want to have the Popeye fight, right? Like, I want. So the two of you have crashed through this boardwalk, and I think landed. I'm gonna land you in the boat. Is that okay? Just straight up into the little fishing boat. And I have to give you thunder again. What thunder do I want to give? I always pick up the dice on a thunder. I think oh, I'm jovial. There's there's a bell that's being rung that's like the harbor master, like calling the town guard to the harbor in case of some sort of danger. We're going to go into a perilous phase, and the way the perilous phase works, I'll hand the dice to one of you. Unlike the other phases, you don't immediately roll the dice. You hold on to them. I will then start describing the fight as it's going, and like the threat and the things that you're dealing with. And everyone's allowed to describe their rogue slipping and struggling with that fight, but you cannot describe your rogue overcoming or succumbing to it. You could just be like, this hurts, or, play it up for the crowd, that kind of thing. Only the person with the dice can do that, and they do that by rolling. So they roll the dice when they want me to shut up, and I just stop right there. So I'm going to try and drive to whatever gets them to roll the dice. Once they do roll the dice, they get to describe what their character does, and they're allowed to then, they don't have to, but they're allowed to overcome or succumb to whatever's going on. Once they're done doing their part of the narration, they can describe how their rogue reacts. They can even describe the effect whatever they do has on the other people. They don't have to. You can hold back and have me describe it, but you're allowed to be like, I wiped the beach with them and they're gone. That's fine. Usually, if you do that, that's just an indication to me that I didn't give you an interesting foe. I got to come up with something else, right? That's once they've done it, and then they pick up the dice to indicate, hey, Epi, it's your turn to start overplaying again, start bringing more threats. They're allowed to end the phase, and only them, right? So only the rogue player who rolled the dice in this phase can end the phase. If they don't end the phase, I will continue to bring what's called the storm, which is the immediate threat. I will continue to bring the storm. And they can't roll the dice again until they've, someone else has rolled them, but they can hold on to them to force me to bring more and more storm until finally passing them to someone. And then that person can decide when they want to roll. So it's a game of chicken is what's happening here. I just keep doing worse and worse things to your characters. And then, and we'll just go until someone decides that they want to end the phase after they've rolled the dice. Before we jump into that, I just want to make sure, is there put our eyes on the motifs real quick. Was there anything else described in that first phase that anyone wants to throw up there? It's fine if nothing in particular coalesced, but I just want to make sure that we aren't leaving anything on the table,
Should we assume that because of reincorporation, should we assume that mysteries and morals will reincorporate motifs will? There's no need to press heavily on you don't somewhere else on the sheet.
No, yeah, I think we've had some good mysteries and morals, so you don't have to then echo those in the motifs because they're already out there. So, yeah. All right, I'm gonna hand the dice. I think. Well, that's right. Our dice disappeared. I'm gonna hand them to Danny because the other two are stunned. But you have an opportunity, right? This is the moment that you were expecting these Bluto-looking, just thugs of sailors. They have the classic, one of them has a belaying pin and, just very classic sailory weapons. They were approaching you, and then these two fell into your boat. Oh, wait, they fell into your boat. Right. So, okay. I get to keep pressing the matter until you've decided to roll the dice. So I think when they hit when Thrag and Kuleana hit the boat, like it knocked part of the boat under the water. So you've taken on water now, and you're a little waterlogged. One of the thugs is like got a pole with a hook on it, and has hooked your boat. Brought it down and is like pulling you in. And all right, I said there were three of them, so there's three of them. Another one is gonna like got a knife, stuck in his teeth. Stuck in his teeth. That feels like a toothpick problem. Not he's holding a knife in his teeth. It's not just stuck there. And he's climbing over the edge, and he's reaching. I'm gonna have her reach out and with his like weathered, gnarled hands, grab onto you. You're what do you look like, Danny? Just out of curiosity, you're like this in this the person in the image here. Or is this more of a representation of a past event kind of thing?
Yeah, I think he's somewhat similar to the
Yeah.
to the man in the boat with the beard. Um, I think that may be an event from some time ago.
Mm-hmm.
Um, he is a little bit more heavy set now. Um, you can tell because of like the way that he gets up when he's first found out, that he has like a little bit of a little bit of a hitch in one of his hips, is one of his legs. Um, and yeah, I think that I think the easiest way to describe him is he has sad eyes.
No, that's great. Yeah.
Um,
Oh,
but oh,
oh,
you're
go
good.
on. I think that's great. I think that like the sailor grabs you, and there is this moment like because of the sad eyes where the sailor's like, oh, like a moment of self reflection where he's like, oh, I don't know if I want to be. Well, I'm being paid to beat this guy up, so I better. I have a job to do here, right? Like it went from relishing the task to like, come on, old man, that kind of thing. Uh, and yeah, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt what you were going to say there, but
No, you're
I
good.
love the detail.
I uh I like the idea of almost like using this moment of like him second guessing himself
Hmm.
and kind of like pushing him into either the other guy or into like the bill hook to
Yeah.
try and like
So
knock him away.
yeah, this feels like a thing you would roll then. To so Right. So okay. So this is something you absolutely can do as part of slipping and struggling, right? And
Yeah.
he'll keep coming at you. But if you want this to be like a thing that has like this is a thing that's going to have a lasting effect on what's happening here. Roll first and then describe based on what the roll is.
I think this feels like slipping and struggling because
Okay.
I think
Yeah. Yeah.
if I were able to just have done this with like in my boat without any other disturbance, I think it would have worked and I would have been able to like
Right.
slice the rope and get away. But like as I go to do this, they fall into my boat and the entire thing rocks and like knocks
Yeah.
me
Yeah.
down with them.
All right. It's good. Yeah. Ooh, sorry about that. I hit my desk with my knee. Um. Yeah. So my usual trick here. All right, this is what I'm gonna do. Yeah. So he falls down, and lands in the boat, and he has like he's torn off a piece of like a pocket or something like that. Like because he had a hold of you, and he opens his hands, and there are two wedding bands in his hands. Right? That he's pulled from your pocket, and he just kind of like and goes to throw them overboard. I'm very much trying to tempt you to roll those dice, by the way. Okay, so he throws them overboard. That's great. Because he doesn't care. And then he grabs at you again. And he's like, "Don't make this hard on yourself." And then like the other one's like, "What's taking so long?" And I guess they all have that voice. I'm not good with the funny voices, so they're just going to get a lot of the same here.
All three non-named sailors should have the same voice and
they should,
and the same voice actor. Like it's all good.
Yeah. So like now, like two of them have hands on you, and they're dragging you over the top of the boat. Maybe they're even like plunging you down, like your head down into the water, so you can see like every time. Oh, we're jovial here. So yeah. So as they slam you into the water, like there's that rushing sound, and your eyes open up, and you could just watch the wedding rings drift down, and then they pull you back up, and there's like as they're yelling at you, like the sound comes rushing in again, and then they plunge you back down again, and there's just like going a little further down in their journey, and then they pull you back up. Oh, okay, all right. Very resistant.
I think I might roll now.
Yeah, go for it. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'll roll to see. That is a 5-4 for glum.
All right. So you're free and clear. You can do whatever you like here.
So I think that at first it was very much like, all right, cool. Like I need to break this grapple, and I need to get out of this. But after they threw the rings to the side, I think that one of the times that they like dunk me, like the first time or the second time, I just kind of like let it happen, and then the third time I pull them down with me. I go over the side of the boat and I pull them down with me. And I think that I'm kind of proficient under the water.
Yeah.
And I do have a very pristine fishing knife.
Oh, right.
So I think that it's almost it looks from like the surface, it still looks very like almost slapstick. But then like we both go under, and then like he floats back up. And I think I go down for my rings.
Yes. So just so I know, he floats back up and
is dead.
He's dead. Okay. Just
the water around him has turned reddish.
Yeah. Oh, I dig it. I really dig it. Great. So now I get to press, unless you want to end the phase there, but I figure it's like the other one. Let's give everyone a chance if that's fine. You get to hand the dice over whenever you want, but I'm going to start putting some pressure on some other people now. And I'm going to start with Thrag. I don't know. I focused on Scramp. So
you can focus on Scramp, but I'll come at you.
Yeah, well, that's great. Like, that's what I'll do then. Can I? So this is me asking you because, like, again, this is a thing that you've named. But can I have Scramp run out and like start biting at these people, like just in the matter of this chaos, like?
Yeah, I actually think we probably saw in a scene a second ago Scramp going for whatever lunch there was, and then I think if somebody bears down on him, I think it's great if he.
Yeah. Okay, that's great. Yeah, I think that like, I don't know what was in the pail, but it was obviously lunch of some kind. Scramp would probably try and jump in the pail, and one of the fisherman jumps in, like is now climbed into the boat and is starting to like dig through the things. I think they're almost ignoring you at the two of you, because you just both fell into the boat, and like it's and he's looking around, maybe like to try and find if you have like any money or something that you've held on. This is not the same guy who just threw the rings over. He has a different goal here, and he sees Scramp and like. He reaches for the lunch pail, sees Scramp, and like is just like, wharf rats and like grab at Scramp. What, like, how is Scramp, like, is this the kind of thing that Scramp would just like clearly just dodge away from? I mean, how ferrety is Scramp? I guess is the
how Faraday versus how super Faraday is.
yeah, exactly. Yeah. That's...
I think anytime there is something that Scramp can scurry along, whether that's a beam or a ledge or an outstretched arm, that's like, I think that's a good Scramp go-to move, is Scramp scurries. So like, if this person's reaching at Scramp, they will make their way up this person's arm. Whatever they do, I think is going to be a normal
that's great.
reaction.
Yes. I think like this guy is now, whether he likes it or not, wrestling with Scramp. Like he's just trying to like get the wharf rat off of him. And the third one now is like climbing up onto the boat. I think neither one of them has noticed that their ally has died, because they're just, it just floated up and that was, taking care of whatever. Sees the two of you. Man, I need to motivate him. You know what? The two of them are they're duo act, right? Like he's now got the belaying pin and he's trying to hit Scramp. Like he's like trying to get the rat that's flying around on him. So, nobody can roll the dice until you hand the dice to them. So you should let us know whenever you hand dice to them.
I'll hand the dice to Thrag.
Okay, yeah.
I mean, Thrag obviously, Scramp obviously has those two well in hand. I mean, one of them sitting, the other one with a belaying pin. So,
Yeah.
Like Scramp's doing great. I think I'm mostly concerned about the fact that there are 4 people in a boat not designed for 4 people that was partially submerged and is taking on water.
Yeah.
So I think like I look at their very empty boat and the the support beams underneath the pier, and I'm gonna
now I got quick before you.
I'm gonna roll
anything.
a dice. Is what
Yes,
I was gonna say. That's
you,
obviously what I'm gonna do first.
Slipping and struggling, that's fine. But if you want to,
I'm gonna do something cool. So I got a 4 under 5. So jovial is gonna be so with the 5. Yeah, that's awesome. I hook my long chain underneath the back bench and toss it over one of the other sides, and then I'm gonna swing over into their boat to provide weight to lift the back end of our boat out of the water, kind of tilting them back and forth, but also putting me out of danger also. And then I'm gonna call Scramp over to run along the little rope, and I'm gonna pass the dice to Kuliana to deal with the 2 people on the boat with her.
All right. So again, I'm going to bring the storm, and in this case, because one of the whole reasons why there's a thunder is in cases of perilous phases where I'm like, oh, I really need to up this game. Now the town guard have come across the town guard that are not one and the same with the Thieves Guild, but might as well be there's enough overlap there that this is
Yeah, they're on the payroll. Sure.
Yeah. You can hear their foot, they're now on the pier, and they're coming in, and they're armed. These 2 were armed as well, but they've got they've got swords or pole axes. I can pull out my Unearthed Arcane and we can figure out if it's the
exact
Lusoon hammer or a Guizarm. But anyways, yeah, something along those lines. So you can hear them coming. I'm just going to keep describing until you want me to shut up and roll the dice. They come running up, and I think the the harbor master is like shouting things at them, and they're not like like everyone's confused about what's happening. Like nobody expected the two of you to show up in the middle of what was just going to be like a just muscling over Danny here, and so some of them are up there, and they're just like start shoving, their spears down into the thing, and it's like hitting pieces of the boat, and
All right, before they do any damage to the boat, I'm going to roll these dice.
all right, yeah, go for it.
All right, that is 4 and 1, jovial.
Okay, yeah.
And if they start poking those poleaxe down at us, then I'm gonna take out my sword that seems to come from another world and try to chop through the oak poles that they're using.
Yeah.
I don't know that. Maybe, and I don't know if I can if I have free reign to describe this, I'm going to say that I cut a swath through them, and they all break into two. And of course, I'm trying to stand up in a rickety boat, but I have at least nullified the corrupt city guard for now, leaving us to our spat with the harbor master and these goons. I'm like, hey, we've got something going on here. Hang on a second. I got to finish this conversation first.
Excellent. Yeah, I want to put the is it otherworldly? Is that how you describe? I don't remember.
Yes.
Otherworldly sword, yeah.
Yeah, sword cutting a swath. Swath with an E? Let's say it is.
I don't think so.
No, it's not. Okay. Old-timey swath is lesser weapons. I think that's fine enough.
That.
Yeah. That's good. Yeah, so do you want to end the phase, or should I keep pressing?
Well, we've all had a shot. I think let's end it.
Yeah, I'm about to say, Thrag also got out of your way so you could do sword stuff to these.
I appreciate that. I don't want to
guys.
cut Thrag.
It's like, I don't want to be in a small boat with you when that sword comes out. So that was a very intentional, you should deal with all of this maneuver.
Any other thing we want to add to the motif at the moment, like that anyone remembered?
I mean, I love the swapping bodies, but we've already got that as a mystery.
Yeah.
I
love the because I almost imagine them as not necessarily mismatched, but not necessarily the same metal. I love the image of the two rings slowly drifting into the deep.
Yeah.
I really loved his
put that down. So that leaves... now, again, I don't have to do these in any order, but we're going to do a discovery phase next, because then we will have learned them all. And... ooh, I have rolled... I keep rolling jovial. And when I roll low, it doesn't... because I wrote the game, I don't have to worry about morals. The overplayer doesn't worry about morals or mysteries or stymies. Too many other things the overplayer has to worry about. So, the discovery phase. This is how this is going to work. Like the other phases, I'm going to tell you where you are, what's happening, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to give you give you a thunder, possible distance threat that we may have to deal with, but not necessarily. And then I'm going to hand the dice to one of you, and you're just going to roll right away. And you're going to then... tell us about something that your character is either just now finding out, or is relaying to everyone because they're remembering it, or you're having a conversation, or is just something that they're thinking about. It could be all internal. We don't have to do any external thing, but it's something about the world that we're experiencing through your character's either senses or their experience or history. Or knowledge, or what have you. you get to, it doesn't have to, like, you don't have to tie it in with what's going on in the story at all. You're that's not your responsibility. You can if you want, but like I don't, that's not on you. And you're going to come up with whatever that is, and then you're going to ask me, the overplayer, a loaded question about it. And a loaded, what I mean by that is like or like a leading question. It's basically it's a question. It can't be a yes or no question, right? It has to be like, you found a glowing sword, and then you ask me like, what terrible powers does it have, right? Like, that's great. You if you ask like, will the Lich King come to try and reclaim this? That's not a good question. That's great because it introduces the Lich King, but it doesn't. I just say yes to that, right? Like, there's no way I say no to that. There's no, but you could be like, why is the Lich King coming for this? And then, like, and what I tell you will be something that your character knows, right? So in that way, we'll just have this kind of back and forth. This is the phase that only I can end, and that's because I'm fishing. I'm on a fishing expedition. I just want to know what's going on in this world, and like, I'm taking a moment to just kind of figure out where we're going to go next. So, but first of all, wait, I said I rolled jovial. So we're jovial. We're going to go ahead in time a little ways. Man, I really wanted Glum for this. Okay, no, that's fine. This is the whole point. Like, it's supposed to challenge me. You're on the boat. All three of you. We'll leave it like unwritten yet whether like I'm personally assuming that the rings have been recovered, but like that's hasn't been spoken, or we don't know. You're no longer anywhere near that harbor town. I think you're it's jovial because it's so hot out right now. That's what it is. It's like you're not necessarily becalmed, but it's almost like you're almost like, it's very calm seas, but there's just like the sun is coming down and it's coming off the waves in that like headachy way, and you've fled in kind of a hurry, and now you're just kind of like stuck out there in the ocean. And I want to give you a thunder. The thunder is that there's something on. I'm picking up the dice for the thunder. There's something on the horizon. You cannot yet tell if it's land or another ship or what, but there's like a spot that you can. It's in the part of the horizon that is most obscured by the sun's reflection right now, so it's very hard to tell what it is. All right. So, wow, I've really set it up so that this is a lot of like memories things, but that's fine. We should learn more about your character's background and stuff. Who did I hand? I'm going to hand the dice to Thrag. So you get to roll right away and make a discovery.
We've got 2 over 1 Glum.
Oh, great. Now you'll have a moral too, but that's fine. That's usually figured out in the question, like the example I gave before about how is this cursed or something like that.
Yeah,
that's it. Yeah.
I get to make a discovery. So am I just narrating the discovery?
Yeah, you just telling us and tell us like what's happening. Is this just something you're brooding about, or is it something you're telling people, or are you looking in the water and seeing something?
Yeah, let's see. It's a still sea. I mean, obviously it can change. It's hot.
Mm-hmm.
We've been out here for a minute. I think I am. We see Thrag like looking over the boat, kind of brooding, and like all of a sudden, like can see like shapes down in the water and realizes we're getting over like what looks like shallower land, but um, down below, all I see is is bones. Like
Oh.
it is dead fish. There's some wood and other stuff mixed in, but it's all there's nothing living down below the area of the sea that we've kind of drifted into. Um, and I think we even at that moment like a single cloud kind of drifts in front of the sun, but in the way that doesn't make it any less oppressively hot. It just makes it more like shadowy and overcast, but also to the point where the light no longer like I see it for a moment, and then this cloud passes in front, and it is no longer like they're no longer visible. So they kind of disappear back into the depths due to the lack of light.
Cool. Then you get to ask me a question about it, a leading question.
Oh.
And I'm trying to not knock my mic over while adjusting it.
What was about anything in the scene, correct?
Yeah.
What was odd about the placement of the bones?
Oh. All right, that's good. That's a good one. Yeah, so you only see them for just like a moment. But yeah, I think that they're like they're you see the bunch of bones, but they're it's not that they're uh arranged, but it's almost like there's just like a path of these bones and then nothing uh on either side, and then there's like another path that's kind of like, so there's maybe like a larger pattern here, but there's clear spots where there's nothing, not even the bones that so it like it, like you've drifted over a larger pattern of something, but you were too close to see what it is.
Um,
Oh yeah, this is yeah. I feel like this is
Go ahead.
inherently got a moral enough to it, right? Like you're in a yeah. So yeah, if you got a moral that you're gonna
yeah,
write,
mine is just
yeah.
small boats go strange places.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. I like I like this the seeing the dead under the water. I'm gonna just like I'd like to write that down. Do we agree that that kind of echoes the two rings drifting into?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, yeah.
Definitely. Yeah.
The seafloor covered in bones or something. Yeah. Cool. Yeah. Now you just get to pass the dice to someone else.
Let's go, Danny.
Just quick question: did you tell anyone else about this, or is this like a thing that you're just like?
I think Thrag took a little bit longer than he should have to reflect on this, and then as they were about to turn and tell people, like point it out to people, that's when the cloud came over, and he's kind of in the mind of if he can't prove it, like we've been out here long enough, like maybe
Right.
maybe it was just me, right? Like like it's if I can't point down at the bones, like what's the point in telling people there were bones? Couldn't be a problem.
Yeah, couldn't possibly be a problem.
Oh
So
yeah,
we roll
pass the dice
first.
to Danny.
Yeah.
Ooh, interesting. I rolled a 3-1 glum.
Oh, it's another moral. Yeah.
Yeah. Damn. Danny's not catching any breaks. All glum all the time.
All glum morals.
I think Danny is rowing the boat. I think there's probably just the one set of oars. Uh, Even with like the extra weight in the boat, I don't think it truly like hampers
Hmm.
hampers Danny.
Oh, nice.
Um, but I think he's so used to like rowing and like finding that like almost inner peace. He he closes his eyes and like continues to row because he knows like we're going in the right direction. As long as I stay consistent with it, like we'll be fine. But he closes his eyes. The even with like how bright the sun is with that like one cloud passing over it, I think it like gets just dark enough that his mind jumps back to being in the same boat. The boat is a little bit lighter. He is not by himself, but he might as well be by himself. And the heat kicking off of the water's surface is not actually from the sun, but it's actually from a large fire of another ship that is much larger than this boat that he is now like rowing away from.
Ooh.
Um, and now I ask a leading question.
Yeah. Oh man, I'm digging this though. This is deep, dark Danny lore.
Let's see. Um, I'm kind of curious. I I don't know. Can I also like open this up to the table? Like if anyone else has any other leading questions in this moment?
Sure. Yeah. Like we're here to help. That's
Yeah.
I mean, it depends on how much of a story you have in your head on your backstory, but like, I mean, if you don't want to decide what happened to your boat, like your past boat,
Yeah,
that's a great leading question.
why you're leaving that
Yeah,
ship and what you had to do with it getting caught
yeah.
in
What
flames.
downed your past
Like,
ship is a fun one. If you have an idea though,
Yeah.
we can pitch a different direction.
I mean, I have an idea, but I also like the concept of like maybe Danny himself isn't a reliable narrator in his own life.
ooh,
No
Yeah.
rogue
So
is a reliable narrator in their
yeah,
backstory.
yeah.
If sword and sorcery has taught us anything, it's that.
I think that's the question of um what uh what led to Danny fleeing a flaming ship.
All right. I have an idea. Um, I'm gonna put it out there. Feel free to veto it. Like this is gonna involve like you and your named characters. So, but this is what I'm thinking. That the ship got the plague, and they voted to go to shore anyways. And you were like, that is a bad idea. And so you set fire to the boat, but then you left.
It's so fucking good.
Does that work for you? Is that or does that
Yeah.
like break
I
the Danny idea? Like,
can I put like a little bit
sure,
a
yeah.
little bit more to it? I think that's the story that Danny tells people.
Oh,
mm,
okay. Yeah.
I think that's the Danny came back to shore in this small boat. And when everyone asked what happened,
Right.
that was like the reasoning behind like why it's only me.
Mm-hmm. But
mm.
okay. But it's a chance that that might not be the truth there, right? Like, okay.
Yeah, I think so.
So here's the question, because you did roll a moral, right? Like
Yes.
they're both. So you get to write a moral about this. Do you think you have enough consequence with this? Is this like, or do we want to?
Hmm. And I can always I can always further a current moral, right? If
Well, no,
I
like
or is that
later
for
on,
mysteries?
we'll reincorporate. We might reincorporate. One thing I didn't kind of mention is that we're only going to reincorporate two things. So, like a
Gotcha.
lot of these are just going to be left on the table. And if you're playing like a long, like a series of games, you get to hold on to those and be like, I want to bring this back, and we'd never reincorporated it, so I want to make sure, you know. Um, so you can make it like kind of related to another one if you want, but you don't have to. Like that's not a
Yeah.
thing.
I I think I have a moral.
Okay, yeah, go for it.
Um, which will it make sense? Who knows? I think it
Yeah.
makes sense for Danny.
All right.
Um, which is something along the lines of uh trust is a fickle mistress.
Okay. Yeah, I dig it.
Tweet.
Oh, and I should point out that like there's 3 bullet points for the morals and mysteries, but we can have
As many.
many more than that.
Gotcha.
Like that's not.
Okay.
Gotcha.
All right.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah. All right. So again, I don't want to end the phase here because I want to give I want to Kuliana. I would like to hear from. You can hand the dice to whoever you want. I'm just it's the first time we've done the discovery phase, so if
Yeah.
you don't mind.
I'd like to hand the dice to Kuliana.
okay.
Roll first.
Right. Roll first. 6-3 Glum.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. Glum.
All 3 of you were glum, right?
The glummest.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think that the there's no wind,
Yeah.
but the at first it seems like we are uh, that our boat is starting to go around this landmass that's in the distance. We can see now that it's a landmass, but it's like a ring of cliffs that are all like as we go around this landmass, it cliffs, and then it becomes clear that we're not going around it; it's rotating, uh, and I don't know how much of this I can say, but like I think if if I can pick up on the the, the patterns of bones in the seafloor,
Oh
that
yeah.
they are leading in their curving arcs toward this rotating landmass.
Oh. You get to ask me a question about this. I'm really loving this imagery, so if
Um, right. What what about the landmass seems uh, dangerous and perhaps sickeningly familiar?
mm.
Definitely dangerous.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Uh okay. Okay, so a clear danger. There's like you've expected to see seabirds like anytime you come to shore that like there's seagulls and whatever uh the but instead uh there's nothing. There's no oh wait, I'm jovial, hold
No
up.
fish, no birds. Oh, you're good. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, you're glum but I'm jovial, so I gotta
Okay,
be
all right,
like
all right. So changed up.
um oh, but they're all carrion birds. They're not seabirds. They're like it's like vultures and whatever, like squawking at each other out there. I don't know the sound that vultures make, honestly. Aside from the two from Disney's Robin Hood, I know what they sound like.
Go ahead and hit that noise.
Yeah. Or rather, I could do Crime and Nittany. Sorry, like I. But that's the sheriff complaining about the vultures.
I think they hiss.
Yeah. So, yeah. So, that's great. That's a good sound. That's a good. So you're hearing a lot of that. You, like I said, like you were expecting those, but then you said sickeningly familiar. I would love to tie this in to the Skull Cup, because like I think that there's because of the arrangement of I feel like I'm breaking this question a little bit. So if this doesn't work, please correct me. But I think that like everyone is exhausted and whatnot, and there's just this moment where you're looking at it and you're seeing it and wondering. You kind of like drop the skull cup, and it rolls along the boat towards like basically it's lining up to like the one of the veins of bones along the bottom, and then it like is actually nudging the boat off course so that it runs along that path, like not like like in an aggressive way, but just like a very visible way that it's like lining up with the like one of the lanes of bones that's leading around the island. That's all right. I'm ending that phase there. That's great. This is good. All right. Is there any other things we want to throw up on the motif?
No, I'll toss it out for everybody. I added the very land turns before us because I just love that.
That's good.
Yeah.
That was good.
Thanks.
You know what? This is like I don't know if this is like. I really like the idea that like the first discovery came when like the cloud came over the and then the second one was just at the exact same time. Danny's was like the same cloud caused both discoveries. I don't know like how to word that for the motif, and I don't know if like, but there's just something about that just felt like nice and poetic for me. So
yeah. I mean, I wonder if it's something more about like like a surprising thing like sometimes it's easier to see in the dim.
Yeah.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah. We could do that. Yeah. That works for me. So we're on to the third motif. All right. We just need to, in this, we can make sure one of them echoes something from either of the first two. That's fine.
Cool.
And I'm about to start another phase. Do we want to like just take a quick bio break or anything like that? I'm just checking in with people. How are we doing?
I'm good either way, but if other people want to take a short break, I'm fine with that.
I could do this like 5 minutes.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, cool.
We'll be back in just a few minutes to keep on playing Swords Without Master. And we are live again on the ocean of Swords Without Master.
All right. I'm going to do a rogues phase because I think it's time to get things moving. I have a fail. Oh, I have finally rolled glum. Again.
What you always wanted.
Yeah. So the overtone is glum. You've spent the rest of the day trying to get past the cliff, right? Like it's a cliff face that keeps facing you as you're trying to because obviously you're lacking food and water. Like it's three of you and a ferret on this boat, and you need so you're trying to like pull ashore, even though all omens indicate that this is not the wisest of ideas. But like what are your options? the sun is finally set. The night sky comes out. There's it's a clear night sky. There's stars everywhere, which is both a wonder to behold, but also like these big carrion birds block out the stars from time to time to just remind you that this island is here. I want to give you a thunder. Oh, I'm just going to use that detail. So the thunder is that sometimes more stars are blotted out than like a vulture would, right? Like something else is up there. Then I'm going to hand the dice to one of you. And I'm going to... Oh, yeah, that's right. We lost our dice icon. I'm going to hand the dice to... I'm going to hand it to Danny. Show us how you finally find shore.
Okay.
Roll first.
I think that I roll first.
Yeah. Sorry. This is the rogues phase. You always roll first, and then yeah.
One of these days, I'll roll something besides glum. 4-1 glum.
Oh, it's a moral. Oh no, 4-1.
No.
You're right. Yeah, no, yeah.
Let's see. How do I find shore? I think that this in a lot of for a lot of people this would be a moment of panic of not having water, of not having food, of like fearing that like you might die out here. But it almost seems like Danny is serene in this moment, of like to use uh a like reference to today. It would be like a pilot who is putting down a plane with one engine. Where it's just like it seems like his hand is so trained at this that even with like the motion of like the island, or like the landmass, he's able to like spot the line to almost get like scooped up by the island as it's moving.
Yeah.
And then I would pass the dice.
Oh, right. Yeah. Sorry. I apologize. I should be.
No, you're good.
It's like, yes. So in the rogues phase again, you can anyone can call for the end of the phase in this moment if they want. But if nobody does, then you get to make a demand of someone else. And a thing I did not note up front was that you can also make demands of me as the overplayer if you want to be like, what's going on here? Or like, what does this person say or do? I don't roll the dice. I just have to answer in the overtone. But it's as if you pass the dice to me, and then I get to make another demand of someone. So I'm not putting that out there because I want you to do that. I just forgot that rule and wanted to.
Actually, wildly, I'm going to call for the end of the phase.
Oh, are you? Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. All right. I mean, I dig the cool under pressure. So is there? I'm like, it was a very short phase, but if there's something that we want to throw in the motif. Again, we don't necessarily have to throw something every phase or anything like that, and you can do several during a phase. But like, if there was something that in Danny's little tale there,
I like the idea of, I guess it's that danger brings calm.
oh yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, the eye of the storm.
All right. So, Snake Eyes So I'm back to jovial. Uh, I could follow it up with a rogue's face if I want to. That's my prerogative. And I think I'm going to. I think you're okay. So you're on this this landmass, this island, or whatever this is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Everything is like we've been describing, like all this dead leading up to it. I'm jovial. Okay. It's still nighttime. Like you're looking for fresh water. You're looking for maybe like to hunt something, or maybe like there's like fruit or whatever, like some sort of and you've been looking around for a bit, nothing, and then you see a column of smoke and some light in the distance, and so you head in that direction because it's like because I'm the overplayer and I get to say that you do, but also because this is if there's people here, then maybe there's if this is like a cooking fire or whatever. You're not quite like doing the cartoon thing where you see each other as like turkey legs and ham or whatever, but like it'll probably get there. So I gotta give you a thunder. Oh, all right. So the thunder that I'm gonna give is that at one point or another, Thrag and Kuliana, independent of each other, think they saw that person in the corner of their eyes again. The person with all the different color red, the soul swapping person. Just as you're going through this island, just completely out of place, and then when you look, they're not there. All right, lifts that up. That's the thunder. But jovial, you're coming across this, and when you get up to it, you realize it's a giant bonfire happening, made out of just like a big old ship that's been pulled onto a shore and set on fire. Not at all a hint at something. I want to make a demand. There doesn't seem to be anyone around.
Just the fire.
Just this like ship that's on fire. Oh, you know what? Yeah, there's like figures but it's hard to see them because like they're silhouetted. So I'm gonna hand the dice to Thrag and show me how man, I want to load this up really, really. Okay, so here's the thing. Whatever these things are, these shadows, these silhouettes that you see, they're not alive. So show me how you react when you discover that. Like you're approaching them kind of expecting, I'm guessing, like, but like you might be able to like ask for food, join them in this.
Yeah, I got 5 over 4 jovial.
All right.
I think we see like Thrag. We see Thrag kind of take note that the way these figures are moving is not quite right. Like, they seem to be like mimicking some of the types of behavior that they would in life, but they have, for whatever reason he doesn't know, set fire to this ship. But beyond that, it actually appears as if they are trying to warm themselves in the fire. Like they are mimicking the motions of like preparing food. Like I think we see scenes of them reenacting things that they would do as if they were alive and as if they had implements in their hand. And sometimes they may have a rusty version of that thing, but there's like, somebody sweeping out an area with just a stick and they're not even touching the ground. There's and but also this boat is recently set aflame and brought ashore, and I think Thrag realizes there's probably stores to be had within that ship if he can act quickly enough. And so so he is trying to think if this is kind of overcoming. But I'll let you give me direction on. I want to try to get. I mean, he moves quickly towards the ship, trying to sneaking around them to the backside of the ship to get up and in to try and starts trying to sort through stores before the fire catches up with him. Yeah, I think that's what we see him do. I mean, that doesn't necessarily feel like I'm trying to overcome them or anything. I think that's kind of struggle and survive, but it's
yeah.
Um,
And it's the rogue's face, so you don't necessarily like. It's more focused on just like what do you?
Oh, that's
do?
right. We're just doing
yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna pass the knife. I'm gonna pass the dice to Kuliana. Show me. Show me what it's like when you recognize the garb that's like when you see one of these things wearing an outfit from someone you knew. And you know what?
Ooh.
Show me what it's like when you see your best friend with only half a skull remaining.
Yeah. I'm approaching these things like any other enemy at first, that they are surely things that can bleed. I've never yet met something my otherworldly sword couldn't cleave through, but I see the silhouette of my friend, who my best friend in the world, whose skull I have half of, and I freeze and I start recognizing people in more and more silhouettes. And I
should have
don't like to freeze. Yeah.
Have you rolled the
dice?
dice?
Oh, I gotta
yet?
roll the dice.
Yes.
No,
Yes.
no.
We'll see where you go with this, but like this is
okay. That's 2-1 jovial.
Okay. So it's a moral.
So it's a moral. Okay.
I mean, we're not going to have a problem coming up with a moral for this. That's not it. But like, yeah, keep going. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So I think, well, okay, if that's jovial, then I think I start to imagine that I can hear them talking, and I can. I'm not freaked out by all this. I'm actually won over, and I stop sensing the distinction between these weird shadows and us, and I think I might be starting to become a shadow figure without realizing it.
Oh, awesome. Yes. Yeah, if you can write like that has teeth. I love it. And you can write a moral about that. That's
okay. A moral. Let's see. Shadows can pull you in.
sure. Yeah.
And I'm going to hand the dice to Danny and say, show us good sense that the two of us lack.
Yeah, I loved it. The two of I was like, I'm gonna run into a fire, and you were like, I'm gonna hang out with the dead.
Yeah.
That's great.
Let's see. Um, just remind me what happens if they're both the same?
Oh,
That
okay.
that
So
changes the
you can't show that you have the good sense because it's a stymie, and
Oh,
we switch from jovial to glum, which I mean makes sense because that's what Danny does with the um but what did you roll? What was the tie on? Was it
fours.
okay? Yeah, so it's just a stymie. So you uh the demand was show us that you have the good sense that they lack, and so now you you have to show that you don't, or something along those lines. Yeah. And but you don't have to worry about like a consequence or a mystery or anything like that because you're above 3.
Yeah. I I think that it might be as simple as uh seeing some type of like shelled creature scurrying along and like picking that up as I like walk towards the fire and almost like sit down next to the fire as I like crack this thing open and almost in a daze of just like, yeah, we're just all hungry.
Mm-hmm.
That's why we're seeing things. There is no big ship, right?
Yeah.
The big ship is just in my imagination. There are no, shadow creatures. The shadow creatures are just like the ones that we've lost along the way. Like we're all just hungry and tired.
we all always haunted by giant flaming ships and
I
dead
mean,
people.
Danny is.
Like,
Yeah, yeah. This is just a thing. All right.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
is
that's
there
good.
anything else to do with this phase?
Yeah, like if you want to make another demand to someone, go for it. But if we want to end it, anyone can call for it to end. I mean, if you don't have a demand, just go ahead and call it for an end. But
Yeah,
I'm
I
willing to
I
see
think I'm
where
gonna
this
call
goes.
for an end to the phase.
All right, here we go. All right, we got one more motif that we need. Like, if somebody saw something that they like, we can go ahead and fill that in right now. We can start with the end game. I'm not trying to pressure that or anything. Like, I'm just
Yeah, I was just
pointing
trying
out.
to look up and thinking about what would.
Yeah, like, have we echoed anything?
No, if we had
Uh,
put the burning ship down before, this would have been
Yeah.
I
great.
know, right? Like,
And I was trying to see if there was a way to work it in a way that covered that.
Well,
But yeah,
we'll get something here.
yeah.
I'm gonna
I
go
mean,
to. Oh, sorry.
it could be sometimes it's easier to see in the dim and because these are like creatures of like our past or our shadows or things that we've left behind, maybe like being able to see them
Yeah, the
in this
seafloor covered
phase.
in bones
yeah,
also felt like it was
right.
close, but
Oh
like,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
um, yeah, let's keep on going, and let's see. We'll
yeah,
catch
yeah.
it on this one,
All right, so I got jovial.
of course.
Yeah. Uh, this is a great. Oh man. Okay. All right. Sorry. Just took a moment for me to figure out what was going to uh how this was all gonna be handled here. All right. So there's a we have Thrag who's just ran into the fire and is looking through the stores. We
Yeah.
have
Classic.
yeah, Kuliana who's just like I am becoming one with the shadow. And then Danny who just like sat down to enjoy a feast with the undead there. This is great. There's a great loud crack, like as the hull of this boat starts to like splinter. There's as its timbers start to shiver, if you will. And they start falling down, blazing, lots of ash in the air and sorry, not ash, but it's ash, but like the glowing
Sparks.
sparks. Yeah, thank you. That's the word of the thing, the bright version of ash that makes it jovial. All right, so this is a perilous phase. I'm going to give you a thunder. The thunder is that, like, when that happens, this person dressed in all red just walks into the light. And then the storm, the threat that you're going to have to deal with is that, like, there is next to them landing on the ground are just, like, giant vultures, like, twice again as tall as, like, a human, like, just coming out of the sky and just wait, we need something more with them. They're vultures, but they have, like, I think they're wearing like they're wearing bones in a way, like maybe like I don't want to be like, it's not armor, it's just like
Like a harness.
yeah, or just like decorative bones, right? Like they made bone art and that they're wearing it. Like this is the and the person in red just points I'm gonna point directly at Thrag, because Thrag has the gem as far as I know. I'm not rolling these dice again. I'm handing them to someone. So I'm pointing them at Thrag, and I'm gonna hand the dice not to Thrag, but to I'm gonna hand them to Danny. All right. So this is the perilous phase, just to remind everyone how this goes down. I'm going to start narrating horrible things happening that in a jovial tone. And the rest of you can slip and struggle with me. Danny will roll when they're sick of hearing me talk. And interrupt to either overcome or succumb to it. So I really loved, I wrote it down as the motif. I love this image of the, like, mindlessly sweeping, the shadows here, these that are doing these things don't react to anything that's happening. They just keep doing, like, they're just kind of going through their old paces or whatever. And one of the vulture things just swings its head down and just swats a bunch of them aside, just like scatters them, and they scatter across the ground and then just get up and continue to do whatever that they this time, like missing a part of a limb or something like that, like, because it it just and the vulture thing is like oh, I'm jovial. I need to, like, I keep meaning to. Anyways, it. Oh no, this is great. Like it like starts heading forward, walking forward with it, like uneasy steps, and it brings its great wings back and forth like that, and it's waving, like it's fanning the fire, and the flames kind of build up into like more of a inferno. Pouring towards the end of the ship that Thrag is in. Like, I'm assuming Thrag has found a barrel with some apples in it or something, or like like a barrel that's got boiling water and apples in it or whatever. But man, I want to like threaten. Well, you're in its way, right? Like it's now like right running towards the and Danny is right within its path. So I think you're actually sitting with your back to it, but you're obviously aware of it. Or I don't know. You could be aware of it. I'm not entirely. That's up to you. But it's driving towards you. I'm gonna have it just run right across the top of you, unless you want to interrupt me. That's fine. But all right. Yeah.
I'll interrupt.
Yeah. That's great. It's like its taloned legs just dig into it's not trying to like grab you in particular, so it just like slams you into the ground. But you can feel its talon talon drive through one of your, I'm guessing your leg. What? Pick a limb. What limb would you like it to be driven through?
Oh, I think Danny already has one bad leg, so let's make it the other bad, the other leg also bad. Have a matching set.
But then you're kind of like kicked up behind it, like it, because again it's running at the fire that's occurring in the boat, so it leaves you like on the ground behind it, and for just like a brief moment, then it's shadowing the fire, so the blaze doesn't reach you at all, and you're just sitting in the darkness. And it's,
I think I'll
yeah,
roll.
yeah, that's great. That's cool. I love it.
I wish I was making it up. 4-1 Glum.
Yes. It's wonderful.
Oh man. So because this is perilous, I am describing either how we succeed or fail, overcome or
Yeah, but you can slip and struggle as well. Like that's like
yeah.
it's just that you don't have the opportunity to overcome or succumb unless you've rolled.
Yeah.
You don't have to take that opportunity, I guess is what I'm saying.
I like the idea of all of us succumbing to this. I think Danny, due to like this like shock of like, oh, this is real.
Mm-hmm.
I think Thrag in this like inhalation of smoke. I think Kuliani in this like almost in like this frenzy of like dizzying like dancing and like revelry around this like around this fire. And I imagine I imagine like everything goes dark for a moment, like this fire is like engulfed
Mm-hmm.
by this big bird, or this like this bird of prey.
Yeah. Do you want to end the phase right there?
I think so.
Oh,
I think
awesome. That's great. Yeah. So no, that's very cinematic. Like you're all like kind of enthralled. Yeah. Quick question. Anybody want to add anything to the motif here?
I got a couple soft pitches that we can see if we can flesh out. Like, I like the idea. So we just had bones come down from the sky, also too. Which feels like it's a good mirror for a seafloor covered in bones. I also like. I don't know if this was narrated this way, but like the birds like swooping or swirling down could be like an easy mirror for like the very land turns before us if we want to talk about them. The sky. I'm also fine. Just keep to go to the next phase also too. But those were my thoughts.
I'm picturing the vultures, two vultures coming down to the earth, like the two rings drifting through the depths.
I think there's some good resonance there. I don't know if we hit it quite right, but I mean those are things that that kind of popped up as me.
I also feel that just from like the islands moving, and like the talk of like the bones at the sea floor, it almost feels like with everything we've experienced with like this giant ship up on the beach, it almost feels like we are underwater now. In like a weird,
in a topsy-turvy way, like
in a weird almost like shadow variation.
We could do bones above, bones below.
Sure.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, I like the idea that we might be underwater and not even realize it, because we're with dead people in a shipwreck.
Well,
anyway,
okay.
Something to discover.
Yeah. Well, Maybe we'll do a discovery phase. I actually kind of like that idea. We are in the end game. So what happens in the end game is it plays out just like what we've been doing, but when you roll for whatever you roll for in whatever phase you're in, you have the opportunity to reincorporate. You reincorporate a moral by just describing like how your character, in the fiction, in what's happening, you describe how your character may learn the lesson, not learn the lesson, or teach the lesson to someone else. This, by the way, you don't have to reincorporate a moral that you wrote. You can reincorporate. They're available to everyone. Like this, none of this is owned by anyone. For the mystery, we can reincorporate it by either answering the mystery or advancing it with another question. And then for a motif, this is the sort of kind of slightly more complex one. You pick one of the motifs, the first, second, or third motif, and you take two elements on it, and you smash them together to make it like a new element that basically echoes the other two, right? Like, I really hate like doing examples because I don't want to like steal any thunder here, but like
so you don't have to. So we take two of the elements
and
smash them together.
Yeah. Okay. Now, once you reincorporate, you no longer get the dice, right? The dice are now passed between the other two players. That's fine because once one of them reincorporates, we're down to just a single player and we're done with the game. We either end the game immediately there, or if as a group we're like, ooh, that is too abrupt, that final player rolls the dice and just gives us like a sentence or two epilogue, and that's the end of our tale. It doesn't have to be the end of these characters. Like we can go on and tell other tales, and we can
as we might like, tomorrow morning.
Yeah, as we may tomorrow morning. Yes. But I really like the idea of like everything that's been said about this whole underwater business. And I like the idea of doing a discovery phase here. So, everything went black. Wait, I just showed, what did I show? Jovial. I was like, here, yeah, you know what I'm saying here. I'm going to go jovial. Yeah, I do really like the idea that you've been pulled underwater. So I want to set this up. Okay. There's you've all kind of come to, like, this was like, like everything went sort of black, and now you're all like in different sorts of alter states or whatever. And you've come to, and there's these birds. Oh, you know what? The bird I'm thinking. Oh, never mind. You've got these vultures with the the bones or whatever. They're standing around you. You're like on a pebbly shore, or I don't. Hold on one second. I'm changing my mind about something here. I'm trying to decide just how trippy we want to go here. Like, that's the thing. That's my only decision that I'm trying to like. Okay. You've come to, I want to have like these birds that are around you. I don't actually want to paint too much of a scene about where you're at. I'll leave that to like you when it comes to like doing your discovery. But I do want the person that's wearing all the different colors, all the different hues of red, is there and is like, I think, frantically trying to go through Thrag's, like, Thrag, you're there, and they're like digging through, trying to they're looking for something like that. I think it's pretty, yeah. That is the strangely, I'm just going to make that the thunder, because they're not doing anything to you right now, but they're being watched over by these birds. They're not closely, but the birds are hanging out and just watching. I need to be jovial. How is this? Oh, it's the pounding headache. There's a lot of reflected light going on, just like there was over the water, but now it's like it's hard to tell where it is or what's happening. I'm gonna hand the dice to Kuliana, and it's a discovery phase, so you just roll right off the bat. And
all right. 4-2 glum.
All right, yeah. What is your glum discovery?
I think the glum discovery is that my friend is actually dead and I'm alive.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it's more than that. I think because I like this idea that we're somehow underwater. I want to say, let's see, that the the I'm momentarily seeing things through the eyes of the person in red, and they're seeing things through my eyes, and I in that instant I know exactly what they're looking for. You know, the gem, of course, the ruby, and um and I know where it is, but I need to stop myself from from going in and picking it out. Um, so I walk over to myself and then I want to say that the perspective shifts back and I'm back in my own body.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe the person in red is back in their body, or maybe they're in somebody else's. But what, how does this shifting of bodies show the person in red's weakness?
Oh, okay.
Is that
Yeah.
the mystery, or is that the question?
That's the loaded question.
That's a loaded question for me. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So, right, because you spend time in the person, or like you spend time in them, and like now you're starting like you throughout this whole time you've been having like this like trouble separating yourself from the shadow, from the dead, whatever, and you realize now that this person is like they're held together by just pure will. They're not really alive. Like there's this thing where you like walk back over and you're like, I can't. It's weird. You don't sit there and think I always feel my heartbeat, but I just don't feel a heartbeat at all. Right? Like I don't. All of the things like you just. It's.
Yeah.
Things move, but things.
The
move
noise
only.
you don't notice till it's gone.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you realize that they're just like barely holding on there. Yeah, that's great. I'm holding on to this phase, so we could just. Who would you like to pass the dice to you, or to?
I'm gonna pass the dice to Thrag.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Roll first.
Roll first. 3 jovial, 2 glum.
All right, so you get a moral now. a thing about morals and mysteries in the end game is that you can ignore them if you reincorporate. So if you wanted to reincorporate with your narration, we can not worry about.
Yeah, I've got a reincorporation already.
Yeah. Oh, I should ask. I'm sorry. Did
was I supposed to reincorporate?
You don't have to. I was just wondering if you did. That I forgot to ask if that was like a thing that.
Reincorporating a moral or a motif?
Anything.
Anything. Moral,
Anything.
motif, or
Anything.
mystery.
Okay.
I mean, it's fine if you didn't.
Yeah, I'll let it go. I'll let things keep moving.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah. So, there's like I come to with my head pounding, and then about 30 seconds later, like the pain is gone, and but all this, like I also like I feel like I got flipped over somehow. My teeth feel weird, and I'm dragging something but like along behind me in a little pouch, and all of a sudden I realized that I have switched body with Scramp the ferret, and Scramp has pulled the gemstone far away from our bodies to secret it away in a damp like dank little hole that he can see ahead. I think the question is, what is living in the hole that makes Scramp feel safe leaving the gym there?
Oh. Yeah. Okay, I mean, I'm all in for this "you're actually underwater" bit that we've been like flirting with the whole time. So my question, before I can, I'm trying to like decide in my brain what is the ferret of the sea, right? Like, what is
a question we all ask ourselves all the time.
Yes,
I guess like it might be like a sea otter. Like
Otter's good.
Yeah,
Otter's good. Yeah, it's solid.
Yeah, all right.
Or not.
Actually, you know what? I'm gonna go with there's like like an octopus. I want
Octopus is also good. Yeah.
I want this octopus to have been like there is a off-screen adventure that Scramp has had where it's befriended an octopus while you were unconscious, right? Like there's that's a whole nother.
That's
like,
tomorrow's episode.
Yeah, like an accompanying comic book that explains like all of this, but like this octopus is like, yeah, I will protect this gem.
People don't know that the comic book series is actually what funds the printing of the books. Like,
right?
Far
Yes.
more commercially successful.
Yeah, if that works. Did you reincorporate then?
I did. Small boats go strange places.
Oh, good. All right. Yes, that was right there for you.
Yeah. As soon as I read it, I was like, yeah, we're gonna have Scramp do something. It's great.
Yeah, that's wonderful. I'm gonna just quick and strike through it so that we know.
Which is also great because it means that Thrag didn't learn anything. Scramp did.
Scramp did. Yes.
Yes.
All right. So now you can't have the dice again, but that's fine. We're just about at the end. I'm ending this phase right here because I want to do the I want to go for a rogues phase. I rolled Snake Eyes again, so we're going to Glum from Jovial. I don't want to like belabor this at all, so I'm just gonna actually say like things start to like fall away, and you start to realize that you've been ensorcelled and brought underwater. And the first thing that like makes that obvious is that these giant birds that are wearing the bones or whatever, it becomes more and more clear that they're not birds, but like manta rays, right? Like they're or something like like a. I don't know my sea creatures that well, but you get what I'm getting at. I'm gonna hand the dice to. Oh, I got to give you a thunder. Um. Oh, the thunder is. I'm gonna hand the dice to. Oh, man, this is so. I'm gonna hand the dice to Danny, but the thunder is that Danny is in Thrag's body right now. The thunder is that all of you are in different bodies right now. This thing has just been like throwing people around. Show us how you find show us how you find where the oh my god, this is like a contorted sentence. Show us how you find where the person in red's soul is residing currently. Right? Like, because it could be in anything right now.
All right.
I hope that made sense.
We are in the rogue phase, correct?
Yes, it's the rogue phase.
Okay.
He's doing cool rogue shit.
Yeah, and to kind of hit the glum tone, because I feel like I didn't quite hit that. Oh, what'd you roll?
2 5s.
Oh, it's jovial now. But you don't discover where they are.
Yeah. Huh.
You can, if you want, you can go with a feat heroic to actually discover, because you ignore the die roll and just go with the tone.
Yeah. I can I use my trick?
Oh. Yeah, I
Since-
mean, like you can absolutely just, you don't necessarily have to use the trick, because we are already in a rogue's phase, and you can totally make this into a one against many situation. So
You
yes,
can't
you
figure
can
it
do
out,
what
so
you
you
were
just fight
what you
them
were
all.
thinking. Yeah.
So I have an idea. I think so Danny has been very calm and collected this entire time. Very much like expecting understanding and expecting what's almost going to happen. So I'm looking at one against many, not so much as a fight, but more so as what is Danny's job. And I think that in the body of Thrag, I think that I walk over to the body of Danny and pluck out the 2 rings and basically lie down on the ground and in place of coins, place the rings over each eye. And I almost see this like ejecting me out of this body. And I see this like the trick of one against many, not so much being a fight, but a job. And the job isn't to hurt anyone, but just to like, I mean, do what he is good at, which is being a boatman or a ferryman, some might call
Right.
him.
Yes.
So I kind of like the idea of Danny walking back to the boat, having delivered his passengers to where they're at,
Wow.
and like hopping back in the boat and rowing away.
Wow.
I mean, okay, so first of all, I'm assuming you're reincorporating. Or are you? Are you reincorporating?
I was thinking about reincorporating Don't Let Shadows Pull You In.
Okay, yeah, all right. Now the question I have for the others, because this definitely deals with things that you have named.
Yes.
it sounds like Danny's leaving you in the underworld. Are you cool with that for this adventure? It's fine if you're not, and it's totally like,
I'm cool with it.
yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm cool with it. I think that underworlds are porous places.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm cool with being here for now. I don't know. How about you, Thrag?
I'm asleep, so I don't even know what's going on, so I'm fine with it.
All right.
This may not even be the first time we've been in the underworld. I mean, come
Yeah,
on.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. Okay, so here's the question. I mean, I don't particularly think we need this, but if the rest think we need an epilogue, then we'll have Chrys roll and give us a little bit of an epilogue there. But I feel like that's a good button. I will go with the majority on this.
Oh
one.
yeah, I think if we can hit, I love when we can do almost every mechanic in a thing. So if Chrys is down for that, I'm down for it.
Sure.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so what you do is you just, because you're the only one that didn't reincorporate.
Okay, so I roll.
You just roll and give us like a sentence or two, to like
Oh,
epilogue it.
okay. Okay. 6'3" jovial.
Oh, good.
Yeah. See um the person in red can't find the ruby,
Mhm.
which is hidden in an octopus's shell, and after scouring all the strand for it, breaks apart, floats apart in disjointed limbs.
That's great. Love it. Yeah.
And the rest are still in the underworld. But yeah.
Love it.
Thank you.
I'd say come back tomorrow morning and find out what happens, but that's not really how sword and sorcery stories work a lot of the time. But come back tomorrow and hear another adventure by this crew. We're going to be playing tomorrow morning at 9. But anytime we play it, especially if we've got multiple sessions, we love to do a little stars and wishes at the end of the stream also too. So stars are things that stood out to us as fun moments of play, things that other people did, things that we really enjoyed about the experience, and then wishes are things we hope we might get a chance to explore more of next time or have happen next time. So before we dive into that, though, head on over to ttrpg.link /swords WO Master in order to check out the Kickstarter campaign that's going to be launching sometime next week. But let's go around real quick and do some stars and wishes. Anybody have one they want to start with?
I love the ending. I really do. I like the reveal that you were the ferryman, like
Yes.
bringing them to the land of the dead. I wasn't expecting it, and it hit, and I was like, oh, that's good. So, yeah.
That was so good. And it just makes the whole image of the burning ship so much more deep, and makes you really wonder what's going on there. I love both those images.
Quinn, I also love that you did a what they call in the tactical fighting circles a puss in boots, where you just got really big eyes and looked at somebody and stalled them out at some point in time to keep them from going full ham on you before killing them later. And so that like I have sad eyes and it's just gonna stop them was like really strong also too.
I feel like in any game that has dice, you have to give a star to the dice for deciding what they want to do.
Yeah.
And man, just the simple fact that I don't think I got a single jovial.
Yeah.
I think the closest I got was a tie between the dice. So that's always fun.
Yeah.
But I really do enjoy I'll echo the chat of saying like the tone switching mechanic of like going between glum and jovial and like kind of playing opposite that or sometimes like finding yourself like stuck in this like limbo between those two. It is a lot of fun.
Yeah. But also, Chrys, I mean, I loved. Pardon me. I loved your list of things that you wrote down, and the cut made from the skull of your best friend, and the way that got to drive some really fun narrative stuff later on was really strong. Especially like, it was great to have it be like, hey, I rolled the dice, and yeah, I'm just gonna go hang out with my friend again. Like all the little pieces that kind of come together narratively in Swords and a lot of other games too, but like that small decision of like, here's something that is very classic Swords and Sorcery. I've got a skull cup, but also it being your best friend, and the way that just allowed for like, cool, like how are we able to kind of bring that back through? But those strong choices early on with your like a couple of your main items were really just super enjoyable to see how those played out. And Epi, your enthusiasm for just like sitting with a good question that somebody asked you is pretty like, I think a lot of people are like, oh, let me rush like really, and this is, I mean, this is a new comment because you don't take a long time, but it's very clear like you fully receive someone's question and then look at a couple ideas and then choose a direction to move forward. And that's, I think it's really great to see not only in this game, but also like because I think it's a sign of true thoughtfulness around what people are presenting to you, rather than just picking an easy idea to slide into, like, and really letting your system that you designed still challenge you as a creator. Like, it was really great to watch that on display with you as the overplayer for me. Those are, I think, a couple of my other stars.
Thanks. Yeah.
Any wishes?
First wish, spaceship next time.
Next time.
Yes.
It was tempting to just be like, it's a spaceship the whole time.
No,
I'm trying to set you up for that with the rotating island.
I thought about it.
It was,
sorry, go ahead, Quinn.
No, you're good. I really do enjoy these types of games that are very almost writer's room in structure, where like, yes, dice do play a part in it, and like a pretty decent part in it, but there is also the narrative of like, oh, that's not what I was expecting, but we're running in that direction now. And it's just like, okay, let's pick up the pieces and like see what we can put together as we like put this out in front of us. So I guess it's just like another general star.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm excited to see what we cook up tomorrow. Yeah. As well.
Yeah,
go ahead.
I like have this. This feels like a wish, but I don't want to like also bias. But like I do want to see these characters again tomorrow. There's some of my favorite Sword and Sorcery short stories don't make sense in a chronology. Right, like a character will die in one, and then they'll die in the other one, and you'll be like, "What's happening?" And I love that about old, because they were written and sold to like magazines. There was nobody was sitting there and like working out they were like, "Here's my." I shouldn't say nobody. People were doing it, but not the Sword and Sorcery people. They were just like pumping them out as fast as they could, so they weren't like building this like
And Conan stories span like a couple hundred years of like non-historiocracy as far as
Oh man,
goes. Like they're like just the whatever. Honestly, that was actually going to be one of my questions: is are we making new characters for tomorrow or just rolling with these? Because I'm super down to just be like, yeah, here's a different story with these three same characters,
right?
Or let whoever wants to mix it up and be part of a shared universe. Like I think that's all fun and interesting to explore. it is also fun because it's like we are doing a multiple shot thing of a game that I've only ever done a one shot of, and so it does feel fun to say, hey, what do we want to hold on to from this one for tomorrow also too. I think it's a fun question. So yeah, same. Any other wishes? Cool. I want to invite other folks to folks again to go check out the campaign at ttrpg.link/swords WO Master over on Kickstarter. Y'all are launching sometime next week. Just give us a quick what can people expect? Like, what are y'all actually funding for? Because again, we've talked about the game. Yeah. The core rules of the game have existed for a while, but there are some fun new things that you're doing. It's part of a partnership with Nathan as part of the Unwritten Earth Symposium. I don't know what's going on with my voice right now, though. But tell us a little bit more, Epi, about what folks can expect from the campaign.
Yeah, so we're calling it a fix-up. A fix-up is a term that, again, goes back to the pulps. It was when they took a bunch of short stories and had to rewrite them a little bit so that they made a coherent, almost coherent novel. Like that's, there's all of these paperbacks that I got when I was a kid that they were like originally short stories in magazines. But what we mean here is that after publishing Swords, I've written many like little mini games that were related to Swords, thematically the same, and some like other hacks on how to use it in different ways. There's like one for like Star Ward, which is for doing a space fantasy one. And we're going to collect all of them together as one volume. So that's why we're calling it a fix-up. Like it's Swords plus like these other short stories that go along with it. Not short stories. Other games that go along with it and other material that I've done over the years. Plus some new material. But also, we are going to have the Eidolon folios, like I mentioned before. These are decks of art cards. We've been working with Shell Khan to collect art from a bunch of artists we're like shooting at decks with different kinds of themes, so you can kind of look at them and say, this is I want to play in this world, or we can mix and match. Like I want to make sure that I want all the robots from this one, or that, and that's the thing that, like, depending on how well the Kickstarter goes, that's the thing that we can just keep adding to. We can keep hiring more artists to make more of those, and then we also have for like at like kind of an exclusive level, we're going to have handmade custom Glum and Jovial dice.
Oh, love it.
So yeah. And that's basically it. So you get the game, you get it as a PDF or as a physical book, and then these art cards you can get. I think we're doing it. It's like you can decide like how many you can afford or want to get there, and then also the cards, the dice. Yes.
And now is Unwritten Earth Symposium, is that you and Nathan? Are there other folks who are involved with that? Tell us a little bit more, because this is kind of a new undertaking. And I know you have this. There's this project, but then there's also Adventure Hobbyist that's going to be coming at some point also too.
Yeah. So we we have been podcasting about the Rockford Files for many years together. And we ran out of Rockford Files episodes to talk about. And we were like, well, what else do we know? And we know how to make role-playing games. So we started the Unwritten Earth Symposium. Or sorry. Yes. It's getting late.
It is getting late.
The Unwritten Earth Symposium.
I'll let you go soon.
Oh, no, that's fine. I'm not complaining. The Unwritten Earth Symposium, which is like our podcast, but also we just a joint publishing venture. We'd worked together in the past, worked at conventions together and whatnot, and we go way back. We're good friends, and we had this nice interlocking set of talents. Like he's a great graphic designer. I am not, and so it was great to be able to rely on him. for that part, and yeah, we just mesh well. So we thought, let's do this. So the first thing we did was the Adventure and Hobbyist Annual 2025, which is out. It's system adventurous scenarios. We're saying that they're scenarios that you can use in a number of different systems, but they do have like opinions. Like it's not like a just purely generic thing. Like we do aim them a little bit at things that we're known for. We do have one that's about pro wrestlers, obviously, because Nathan is Worldwide Wrestling. We do have a horror one, and we do have a astronauts trapped on another world in a sort of sword and sorcery sort of. So we were hitting our high notes there, but yeah, we intend to publish one of those every year. They'll each be somehow different. It's sort of like our whatever strikes our fancy.
Fancy and fantasy.
Yeah, exactly. Yes.
Love it. Well, folks can go check that out. Unwrittenearths.itch.io for a lot of the digital projects. You can follow them over on Blue Sky also, too. You go check out the Kickstarter at the link we already mentioned that's linked in the show notes. We are going to be back again tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. to play part 2 of this ongoing vignette series. So come back and join us then and find out what the answer to the question that we were really interested in for tomorrow. Are these going to be the same rogues, different rogues, a mix? You'll find out all here on Plus One EXP. We don't have a good way to end these streams. And so until next time, we're just going to wave at the camera until I take us off air. Night, everybody.
Night.
One day.